to?
Shit. Life been life, and you know how life goes.
I do.
I, I was under the impression that okay, I'm from the Bronx, right? So you grow up like that, and then you start doing okay for yourself. You're like, wow, I'm in West Hollywood now. Life is good. And I just assumed that things just continue to get better, and that's it. You don't factor in like the ups and downs. Like it doesn't work that way. That's not how life works. You don't get to just be comfortable and stay comfortable, you know.
No.
Yeah, so it's that's something that I guess you have to plan for. I don't know if you can plan for it. I think it's just part of life. I think even if you did, nobody's perfect, but even if you had a cheat sheet and you try to do everything perfect, I still think there's going to be things that happen that's going to throw you off. Let's say if it's whether it's financial or if it's not, it could be emotional, it could be mental. It could be all of the above at once, right? So I honestly don't think there's no way around it. The only thing, the only advice I could probably give to myself is that you always gonna be all right, but you have to believe that, and is gonna be an uphill battle. You just kind of have to be ready to put your best foot forward every time and trust that you're gonna be okay. Basically, like don't panic. So, but other than that, I mean, these are just lessons I think you have to learn on your own. I don't think there's any way around it. I think that's the only way to grow and mature and get better. You have to fail. I just think you have to fail. There's no way around it.
I feel like me and you are in the same boat. I feel like everything you just said is exactly everything I'm kind of dealing with too.
Listen, listen. I I felt like I honestly felt like there's nothing that can happen to me that I can't handle because I come from nothing. Like how it can't get worse than nothing. Shit, do you know what I'm saying? But then, but then it's like you in life you'll hit rock bottom and then hit another rock. Like you'll hit rock bottom so much time, you'll find that the fucking bottom is deeper than you thought. You'll be like, oh, this is rock bottom. Okay, I gotta do something. And things will get worse. And you're like, how the fuck? I didn't think this could get worse. You're like,
I was at rock bottom at the beginning of the year, right? And that was not even rock bottom. Like I feel like what I'm going through right now is again that second rock bottom. I'm like, fuck, dude, when's it gonna end?
you think that's as low as it gets, but it keep having like, holy shit. And at first you're like, I got this. Then you eventually like, damn, I don't know if I got it. Am I gonna make it? I don't know. But let's see. But then you get like a small win. You're like, okay, I think I might. Okay, I think I'm okay. Boom, it hit you again. You're like, oh shit, fuck. I don't know. And I think eventually you just be like, well, this sucks, but I'll be out either way. Like at the moment, I'm stressed the fuck out. But
Yes.
I feel like things should be okay. I hope. So it's like,
So that video I sent you
yeah.
yesterday or
Mhm.
whatever, we could talk about it. I'm not opposed to, but the reason why I reacted the way I reacted, which is basically nothing, very neutral, I didn't react right because of what my mental has been through in the past couple weeks. Like I ain't got it in it. Like I don't have that in me. I meant like at this point, take me out of my misery if you want to.
I, I know exactly what you mean. That I think that's something that, but let's say even I think eventually that kind of becomes a reaction regardless because I think you kind of just get numb to it. You know, I think
And we're
eventually.
we're too old for that shit as well. Like we're too old, probably numb to it because it's happened so many times. It's just there's bigger fish to fry in life than that.
Exactly. And like there's more important ways to spend your time in life because listen, hard times are gonna come. You know, my mom used to tell me that, and I thought she was being too like what's the word I'm looking for? Too what do you call it when somebody always thinks about the worst? Is not optimistic. The opposite of optimistic.
Pessimistic.
Pessimistic, I think is a good word. Hey, what's up, Justin?
Hey, what's up?
Can you
What's
hear
up,
us?
Justin?
Yeah, I got both of y'all. Hey, how are you?
Good, good. How you doing?
Long day considering I'm having to resort to Wendy's, but
That's been my diet the past 2 weeks too, man. Like with
um,
everything I've been dealing with, burgers every day, like at least twice.
I've
uh,
been eating way too much of them as well.
Justin got that new iPhone that you see how it follows his face. You see?
Yeah, that's what
Does
phone do you
it?
have?
Yeah. You see?
Oh, it's the 17. Yeah, I can see my window moving in the background a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. It have like facial tracking or something. I see Jordan do that. Like he's talking about his meals, and the phone is like this. I'm like, oh shit.
No, 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 no. Jordan, you're talking about Jordan Hutchinson, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When me and Joe saw him in, I don't know, I think it was
Tampa.
Tampa where we saw he's got it looks like a little tripod setup, but the phone, the thing can't be more
It
than like a 3x3, and it literally moves and it tracks with you. It's not a phone; it's
I know
just
what
like
you're talking
a
about.
camera. It's the actual gimbal moves.
yeah.
It
Oh,
follows
okay.
you.
I know what you're talking about. That's that new. It's like a new vlog. It's like a newer vlog camera that came out. I forgot.
Yeah, if you're doing that kind of stuff, that is the exact camera that I would want.
Excuse me, Jordan. Jordan is fancy. Jordan getting the big bucks. You can't.
Yeah, if you're filming in the gym, like where you're moving around, you need that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
eliminates the videographer. I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but we're all trying to cut corners and save money if we can.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, Justin, you mind turning your phone sideways?
Yep.
Yeah, me and Alyssa was just talking about I guess we was talking about life. Like we talking about like what we talk about off air basically. That's what we always do. Anybody I have on, we have the same conversations we would have off air basically. Maybe we don't get as deep into the details, but give or take, same conversations. Justin,
Well, that's how you got started, right? Because you said that you and Joe and Paul would just bullshit for like hours at Fit Nation. You're like, why don't we just record this?
exactly. You know, it's funny because I remember at that time we had different kinds of stress. I feel like we got grown man stress now. We used to have like we had like young man stress at the time. Just like I can't get my meals in, because I'm busy or some shit like that. Now we got real life stress. Shit,
Yeah.
things change, man. Things change. But Justin, I'm sure you've been through your fair share of shit. But we were talking about how for you, okay, was there a time in your life? I've been following you for a while, so I kind of know the answer, but I'm asking for the audience. Was there a time in your life where you felt like, oh wow, I finally made it, like I finally succeeded, and then at what point did you feel like, wait a minute, things are not going up anymore? I feel like I'm actually hitting rock bottom, which I thought I made it. That's right. Like I felt like once I made it, that'll be it. I'm good now. Everything is gonna be good. I'm just gonna keep moving up in life. I didn't factor things going up and down and the rock bottom and back up and all of this shit. So could you walk me through like a time where you felt like the first time you felt like you made it, and then some of the trials and tribulations that made you feel like, okay, life isn't that simple, is it? It gets harder before it gets better.
Do you mean like from a bodybuilding standpoint or just life?
Just life, yeah, just life. Which for you probably intertwines, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's multiple things. I thought when I graduated college that life was just going to happen, and it didn't. I thought when I got that diploma that things was going to come together, and it didn't. I'm not going to say it didn't stay. I'm not going to pretend that I went through like poverty or struggle or anything like that because that's not true. I
Mhm.
haven't had to experience that. I'm thankful I have it, so therefore, like I'm not going to talk down on anybody who has.
Give me a loan,
But
Justin.
then when it comes to bodybuilding, I think when I won my pro card, I really thought I was like, this is it. Like I finally did it. Like all doors are going to open, everything's going to change, and nothing changed at all. Like it almost like winning my pro card in a way was a blessing and a curse because that very night, I was just expecting my life to change in so many different ways, like companies. I was going to get to travel the world. I was going to be
Joe
doing a lot of
Weider.
different things.
Get a phone call from
Nothing.
dead Joe Weider.
Yeah, I got nothing. So in a way, it was like a really high moment, but also a really low moment at the same time, because you remember the old bodybuilding forums and stuff. People were talking about me on there about how I should have won the overall, like this guy's thing. And I'm like, this is great, but nothing's happening at the same time. So it's like I really didn't know how to comprehend that. And I feel like the Orlando Pro kind of turned things around, which kind of gave me the confidence boost that I needed. And then when I got 10th at the Olympia, I actually did a little bit of the opposite. Like, I remember walking into the gym afterwards, and my friend Alex comes up to me and he's like, "Dude, congratulations on getting 10th at the Olympia." And I was like, "Congratulations on what? Getting my ass handed to me?" Like, and he at the time, me and Alex like weren't actually friends. We just knew each other, and he got this impression like, "Wow, what a dick." I'm trying to give him a compliment, but he now understands, because Alex is a pro himself. He now understands I just held myself to a higher standard than that. So that was a very crushing moment, I would say, in my life. Like, as a matter of fact, I think I did everything I could after that, after getting 10th, to leave the building and not see anyone, because I was just embarrassed. So that was a low moment for me. And then fast forward, not too long after that, 2017, right before that, I thought I had my shit together. I was like, I'd kind of talked to a couple of companies as far as like sponsorships, like once my Evogen contract expired.
Mhm.
And I told him, I was like, I can't talk right now. And as soon as the guys told me the number, I was like, okay, I can talk now. Like, we can talk. We can't sign, but we can talk. So I was like, okay, things on the up and up. And then the next thing you know, I like fell through the shitter with like five different, six different, seven different issues in 2017. So I was kind of again, life's been kind of a roller coaster. When you think you're on top of it, you might come right back down.
Yeah. And we we were talking about you think you hit rock bottom, right? Um, and then you don't realize how deep the bottom goes.
Yeah. One thing I've learned throughout my life, I'm 37 now, and I used to be a planner. I would plan everything. Like, if you would have asked me when I was 25 years old, what are you going to be doing at 30, 35, 40, 45, 50? I had an answer for that. I
Mhm.
was like, this is what stage of my life I'm going to be in. Now I go day to day, week to week, month to month. I don't plan shit past a month,
I
because I,
fuck with
I have
that.
learned that just everything can change just like that.
Yeah. I,
Tomorrow's not promised, you know?
Yep.
Something could happen. Tomorrow's not promised.
I had this really strong belief that my life was in my control. It's all about what I do and my actions and my work ethic. To some extent, to some extent, yes. But then it's like as time moves on, I swear it feels like it's less in my control. Every year it's a little less in my control. I don't know why it feels like that, but it feels like that. Just unexpected shit happens, and you're like, "That's super random." Like, am I being punished for something? Did I do something wrong? Like, is this
The
like
best
karma?
thing to do is just accept that we aren't really in control of anything.
Yes, yes. And then how you handle it mentally is really important, because I think there was a time where uh I couldn't handle like too many things going wrong at the same time. I would kind of implode and like shut down. And now I kind of step up to the plate more. I'm still very stressed, but it's not crippling, right? Because you get callous to it. It's like your first leg day after 2 years off. You might get sore, but if you consistently do that crazy leg day, eventually you start getting sore. So I don't want to say I don't get stressed, but you couldn't tell I'm stressed now, because I would just handle it. And what I can't handle, I'll be like, the fuck I'm gonna do? So if the worst happens, I guess when we cross that bridge, then I'll handle it. But a lot of the times you never it doesn't, as bad as it gets, you're still okay, right? I've never ended up like homeless or some crazy shit, but there's instances I'm like, this could go really bad really quick, and I can see how people could be fucking crackheads and shit, right? I'm like, this could get out of control really quick if I don't really take control of what's going on here. You know, you can literally you can go from living in a fucking loft making seven figures to being a meth head within
Quick.
6 months. Yeah. And it happens all the time. This is not like just me making up. It literally happens all the time. It's just little things happen, and you spiral out, and you out of there, you know.
Yeah.
But
I told this story the other day, man. It was a boss that I had when I was like 19 and 20. He
mhm,
let me work part time at a store, and he was making seven figures a year off the store. At the time, I think he was about 35, 36, and he was like at the high of his life. And then I didn't know the full backstory because we didn't stay in touch. But I dug a little deeper because I was friends with him. Like I saw him every day at work.
yeah,
And he went through a divorce, hit rock bottom, started drugs, and the next thing you know, he blew his head off in the garage.
yeah.
So like all that within like a year, you're like a seven-figure guy, you got a wife, you got a family, and all of a sudden he committed suicide.
Yeah.
Crazy shit can happen.
You know what? You know what some young men do, like where I'm from? I feel like sometimes you put yourself in a position for suicide to happen. Like
Yes.
you live life in a way that's super reckless because you don't really care if you live or not, you know, because things are kind of bad enough that you're like, well, I'm gonna try my best, but if something happens here and I get killed, like that doesn't really bother me. As fucked up as that sounds. And there was a time where I kind of felt like that. I'm like, what's the worst that could happen if I die? Even everybody else is gonna be sad. I'm gonna be like, wherever I end up, whatever you believe in. If I end up in nothingness, it's better than here. If I end up in heaven, the great hell, I might make it. I might make it happen in hell. I don't know. I don't fucking know what. But wherever I'm at, this is kind of hell to me anyways. So who the fuck cares?
Exactly.
So unfortunately, I think a lot of people. Fuad even talked about that. Like he was like, my kidneys aren't good. I'm probably gonna die anyways. Who cares? I'm gonna ride motorcycles fast and all. You know, that's how he honestly felt. And now he almost feels like opposite. Now he almost, so I think some of us do that. Even with bodybuilding, sometimes we just bury our heads in bodybuilding, right? And it's a distraction, and we don't care. You know. Um, I think even some bodybuilders feel like that with bodybuilding, like take a shit ton of drugs and don't care. Like, I honestly, Boston was a friend of mine, but honestly, toward the end, I think he started feeling like he might not live anyways. So I think he kind of he really tried to get his kidneys better, but I feel like there was a point where, I mean, he's talked about the opening where he just got back on gear and he was like, fuck it, you know, maybe prematurely, but I don't know, man. Maybe he felt like I'd rather go out having fun. I don't know, who knows? But
Yeah, but with what he had going on, it actually had nothing to do with that though. Like that was
the way he died,
probably gonna be inevitable. I mean, unless he actually went and got like an echo done to be able to look at that aorta, see what was actually happening.
yeah, yeah,
So, like, regardless of, I mean, I'm sure the gear didn't help matters because, when you add high blood pressure to aorta dissection, it's just going to make that problem worse. And considering his kidneys weren't 100%, I can only imagine his blood pressure was very all over the place.
Oh, his blood pressure was out of control his entire life. I mean, entire life since he started checking it, but it was way out of control. And
That's probably what caused the issue then.
yeah, he honestly said that he didn't think it was that big of a deal to have high blood pressure because so many bodybuilders do. Um, I think nowadays bodybuilders take blood pressure medication, but I think he's right. I think back in the days, I don't think people really cared about blood pressure that much.
I don't think it's just bodybuilders, man. I think a lot of young people in general don't understand that, like, maybe you're pissed off that day. Maybe you got anger issues, whatever it is. You shot to like 160 over 100. For a couple of days, you're going to be fine. But if you're trying to live a decade in those numbers, in that range, you may or may not feel it or notice it throughout the day, but you are going to pay the price on the inside.
I agree. I
But I
agree.
think it's because when we're young, we don't feel or notice anything. We just assume everything's okay.
Yeah, I think if your blood pressure was high from like 22 to 24, and then you get it under control, I think you'll be fine. But
You probably will, just with a short period.
yeah, but going 10 years with elevated blood pressure, I don't think he started taking blood pressure medications until way, way later, way later.
Yeah, until he actually had physical problems.
Yeah, yeah. I think blood pressure is the root cause to any premature deaths in bodybuilders. I always felt that way.
It definitely has to play a role into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether they're dying from, I mean, usually the two issues that you see bodybuilders die from is number one is going to be cardiac, and there's your blood pressure goes in that. Number two is going to be kidney. Again, blood pressure goes hand in hand with that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Call me crazy, but I don't think bodybuilding is that dangerous if you just control your blood pressure. If you have blood sugar issues, control that as well. And what else? You should probably see a cardiologist.
You need to be looking at like your cholesterol, get like a calcium score and an echo. And as long as those come back, I mean, as long as they're checking out good and you're doing them consistently, you're you're gonna be fine. But
that's
that's the thing, this is where genetics plays a role. Like when people talk about genetics, the first thing to think of is cosmetic. And that should be the least of your concerns, to be fair. Because like if me and you were to take 2 cycles, I guarantee you our blood work is gonna look different at the end of it.
yes, yeah, this is true. I've never like my cholesterol. I've never taken cholesterol meds. My cholesterol doesn't budge. Just genetically doesn't budge. My liver enzymes do the regular up and down thing. My blood sugar has never budged. Even at one point, we were doing like I don't know 800 carbs for off season. It never budged. It never budged. And then uh what else I got? Was my creatinine is always in range, even if it goes up, it's always been in range. So in my head, I'm like, does that mean I just gonna just be perfectly healthy? And sometimes not. I still had like a health scare. I don't know if it's directly related to bodybuilding, but I did have
It was a little out of your control with the pneumonia.
yeah, because I have respiratory issues, so I guess that counts as my like health flaw, right? But I mean, out of that's not that bad. Out of all the possible possibilities, respiratory issues, I don't mind as much as like anything else,
Now that you're aware of it, you're going to be more conscious to make sure to keep it in check.
Yeah, yeah. But also, if you don't put on a bunch of fat and inhibit your sleep, I think that's something important as well. I think not getting overly heavy as far as body fat and then recovery. I think that'll keep you a lot better shape health wise.
Yeah, I haven't quite mastered that sleep part yet.
Yeah, we have to check. Yeah, how's your sleep, Alyssa? Me and
It
Justin.
right now because I'm trying not to smoke. It's been
Oh,
like 4 days.
whoa, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, I've been staying up till like 3 a.m. I can't fall asleep. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And then it almost feels like again I've went through some stuff recently in the past couple months with like coaching wise and stuff. So like my body weight went up to 150. I wasn't cool with that. So I again the ups and downs of life. I was up weight wise and now I'm down weight wise, but I was put on gear and now I'm cleaning out because I wanted to take a break and the coach I hired put me back on. So again, I feel like I'm in a detox. I'm like literally sweating the
Good.
bed every night. So,
Shit.
but
Is
I'm just
that
gonna.
just from when you stopped smoking? That recently, or
I've so today's Sunday. It's been about 9 days since I took a break off gear. Like when I just stopped taking it because I was like, fuck this shit. Because life and everything I was doing with the coach I hired made my life stressful, and it was just high food. Like high food in general stresses me out. You know how I eat tacos, muffins, like dense calories, but not 300 grams of rice or 250 grams of rice and 6 ounces of meat. Like I
Mhm.
just got up, down, and then it was like I was stressed out, so I was smoking to like calm my nerves or whatever and not think about it. And it was just like a toxic cycle. So I was like, I'm done with this all. Off gear. I'm gonna try to stop smoking and I gotta make a life change. So I'm moving to Houston in a week.
Oh shit.
So and the only thing that helps me, and whether it's bodybuilding or life, is I've been very anxious in the past like 2, 3 weeks, and I snapped out of it and I just started taking action. And like you said, you just one foot in front of the other, and the action has ridded all of the anxious feelings I have. But I'm not smoking, so I'm
Mhm.
fine without smoking. It's just the going to sleep part is like not okay right now. And probably being on my phone doesn't help. I don't know how to put my phone down, so
Yeah, that's always out. Hey, one thing I like about Justin, I haven't worked with many coaches, so I don't know how most coaches are. Justin has really good perspective on life and bodybuilding. And Justin is going to put life first all the time. So if you, I know when I started coaching, like if a client tells me like, I don't know, man. Every time I'm on this trend, things get weird. I start like neglecting my kids and stuff like that. Like they say they're in prep. I'll be like, bro, you in prep, man. Like with all due respect, it don't matter. Now I'll be like, whoa, not the kids. You mean to your daughter, bro? Oh, fuck that. We coming off a trend.
yeah.
The fuck, we don't get off the trend. We do master on this some shit, right? So if Justin here is health, anything health related or family related, you having a kid, you getting married, something, he'll make sure, hey, should we step back right and
I've
make
had this
sure?
conversation a couple of times just over the last few weeks.
You see what I'm saying?
But it sounds like, listen, it sounds like you got, I'm not going to pry on the subject, but it sounds like you have other things outside of bodybuilding that's causing you stress. And if that's the case, I agree with your decision because, like, if you're not able to focus on what you're doing, there's really no reason in running the cycle to begin with. It's just shut things down, reset, and get your head right before you actually start pushing.
Well, just to keep it short, because I don't want to. I have respect for the man that was coaching me. It was just, it just wasn't working out, so I had to part ways. Whatever. But I did my thing all year long because I was with a coach. I bailed from a show because I wasn't ready. I did my thing all year long, and then I come home. I had to move home for a little bit, and so I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna get ready for next year. So I might as well get someone now so they understand what to do going forward. So I ran gear all year. And when I came home, I finally took my break. And while I was only 3 weeks off. And then I hired him, and then he was right back on. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I've only been off for 3 weeks. Like, I haven't had a period. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a period. Like, so again, right back on. And I'm receptive. I'm going to listen and do everything to a T. And that's probably toxic too. But right back on. Not a lot of stuff, nothing toxic, but back on. And then high food. And now stress, 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 stress. Like I was getting resistant because I'm seeing, am I getting bigger? Maybe. But to me, I see softer. Like I'm getting softer. And for me, I can't do that to my physique because it takes a lot to get in condition. And I didn't even get in condition this year. So my goal, and again, the judges' critiques for me is always I need a leaner back, bigger but leaner. And if I'm continuously getting softer, the size, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get bigger. I'm trying to get more condition because I know if I show up more condition, it's game on. Like I can grow off a little food. Like I don't need to eat. Like if I showed you my diet, it's a grown man's diet, like straight up. And then and some things were being introduced to me, and I was like, I ain't with that. Like
Yeah.
I don't need to be on insulin. I'm just gonna take my berberine and my little glucose shit, and I'm not fucking with insulin. That had me stressed out because now I'm trying to look for insulin. It's like I try to communicate, it just wasn't collabing how I imagined it to, and I said, "Fuck this shit."
That was gonna be my question. Did you communicate this? Because
I did.
yeah, okay.
I tried to say like, look, bro, before I hired you, I was seeing what I want to see in my glutes and my back, and because I personally feel like my glutes and my back need to stay in a certain. There's certain things I'm looking for. I can't lose it because if I lose it again, I feel like I'm getting worse. So it's not that I want to stay in shape all year round. I'm keeping myself sensitive. I eat burgers and cookies and I eat shit, but
Right.
it's not like that's, again, it's just not what the route I'm ever used to. And it's not the route I'm trying to take. My physique, I'm 5 foot, 140 pounds. Like, I don't need to get bigger, and it was like I was getting uncomfortable. I wasn't being able to focus on training because I'm just so like, God damn, I can't bend over with all this food. Like, there's not enough time in the day for this food to digest. Like,
Yeah.
so, and
You know,
again,
I feel like
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like, your eyes might see more size, but my eyes is seeing I'm just backtracking. So like if your opinion thinks one thing and mine, you're not like even accepting how I feel or believe, and you're just trying no type thing, you're not listening to me. So I don't like being controlled like that.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like this happens more so than not, and I'm one of the coaches who does a little bit of the opposite. Because one thing I always ask people when they start up with me, I ask for a 12-month history of your PEDs. Like, and I tell them to be specific. What compound? Because I'll have people like, oh, I took test deck and needle. Okay, how much and when? You know, like I need specifics to this. So, like, being as you were only off for 3 weeks, obviously that's not how I would do things. I would have you off longer than that. But I think a lot of coaches feel like when they take somebody on, they have to show that rapid, like before and after, like look what we did the first 6 weeks together, and bringing you off, and then maybe you get a little bit softer. I mean, maybe you don't get softer when you come off, but either way, like you're not making that big drastic jump, so it doesn't give them the transformation that they're looking for. And also, they know that a lot of people, whenever they work with them, they're expecting to hop on board with someone and see crazy improvements right out of the gate. And sometimes those improvements need to be put on the back burner to fix something before we get to that. You know, like in your case, you probably needed to be off longer. You needed a lot of other things as well. I don't know, but just assuming if you were on all year. And a lot of people don't want to do that because they don't want public to see, like, obviously everyone knows who you are. They know that, you know, when you're in shape, you're probably winning most shows. They don't want the public to see, like, holy shit, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. She's going backwards. So in their mind, they want to just throw the whole book at you. And I've seen it before. And then sometimes when I get people who come to me, I had to have a conversation with a guy, and I hope he's listening to me. Says he is. But he'd been on for like 8 months. And he hired me right at the end of his cycle, been off for a couple of weeks. And I said, okay, well, this is how we're going to do things. We're not going back on right. And he kind of wanted to fight me on that, like wanted to go against me. And I wasn't standing down. I wasn't going to be like, well, okay, you know, we can. Oh, no, this is what we're going to do. Like, and if the guy was going to argue with me on it, I would have ultimately just wouldn't have charged him for anything. I would just gave his money back and said, look, I don't think this is a good fit. I wish you the best.
That's a really tough situation though, because that happens often, right? A client signs up with you and, hey, how long you been on? Oh, I've been on 6 months. And you know what's going to happen because you know, looking at him, how he's looking and how long he's been on, you know he's going to have to come off. But you know that if he hired you, the last thing he wants to hear is no gear. He wants to hear the juicy shit. We're going to do all this
I
shit,
know, right?
you know? So then you're like, I know where this conversation is going to go. Hey, we're going to have to take a break. And right away, like, yeah, I feel good. I feel good. That's not the
Yep.
point. You're hitting me up kind of like not that big, kind of soft, kind of fat, and you've already been on 6 months.
Yep.
There's nothing to do
There's
from
nothing we
here.
can do.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna have to come off. We're gonna have to actually reduce food. And I know you don't want to hear that. I might have to reduce trading. I want to get you to a point where we could actually push and get somewhere, not add fat on fat and take away recovery. And by that point, the gear is kind of just sitting there. It's like idle at that point. You're not getting much from the gear, right? That you wouldn't get just backtracking, getting a little leaner and pushing again. So it's a tough conversation. It's a tough conversation to have.
People have a hard time understanding, you know, sometimes you got to go one step back, go 2 steps forward.
it takes a while to get there, man. I mean, I really hate
It's
that. Huh?
oftentimes I think it's the athlete who doesn't understand that. Obviously, with Alyssa's case, she does understand
She
that.
does, yeah.
And it was the fucking coach that didn't quite get that. I mean, I don't know the guy, so I'm not dissing him. I don't know the methods. I don't know anything at all about it. But like, that's just like my philosophy of what I know here with things.
I just have never eaten that much, nor have I ever. On top of it, like again, that's not what I'm doing, and that's not how I will bodybuild ever. I don't ever eat that much. And the gear, it's not that he was doing anything different than I've ever done before. It's just the simple put me back on. But again, I'm just gonna listen because that's what I do. I give the reins to the coach and let him control me. But I don't know. I'm not gonna talk bad about him, but what did kind of like rub me the wrong way is I'm the next day. It's kind of draw me, but at the end of the day, I told him
Just don't
on a
say his name
Sunday.
in real.
Yeah, I won't. And I'm just gonna pull it.
Yeah.
So Sunday, I told him because I checked in on Saturday or whatever, and I told him how I was feeling. And again, this is like everything I do all day long, look at myself and pose for people. And if I can't, like, it's how I make my money as well. I told him like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I don't like how I'm looking. Like I literally wake up and I don't even want to look at myself. Like I'm bigger, but I feel like shit. I'm lazy as fuck. I can't even get up out of bed because I'm so full. Like blah blah blah. All right, whatever. You look good. Da, 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 don't worry about it. Sunday, I wasn't mentally stable, and I told him like, hey, bro, look, I'm just gonna freeze this service. I'll come back when I'm healthy, like mentally healthy, because I always feel like I'm the problem. The next day, I wake up and I pose because I just want to see where I'm at now that I'm going to coach myself. And I was just like, man, this is not it. Like, this is not it. And I posted that on my story. This ain't it. But I'm not talking about nothing about him. I'm talking about my body. Well,
Yeah.
I go to train and I get done training, and he done made like 6 stories talking about my situation, but it was not about me. I'm like, bro, it is about me because you posted a comparison of a guy going from small to big. Okay. I was going from small to big. And then on the next story, you said how you can't always like how you look year round, blah, blah, blah. You got to sacrifice condition, blah, blah, blah. And then I didn't even listen to the rest of them because I was like, fuck this. So I was like, hey, bro, was them stories about me? I was, no, no, like a big long response. I was like, well, that's cool. I'm not coming back. I don't really fuck with that. Can I get a refund? He's like, no, I already gave you a deal. I was like, all right, well,
It is what it is.
bye.
Yeah.
Delete, archive that conversation. It's good. Like, I'm just, all right, I'll take that. That's another L I've taken this year. That's a chunk of money because I invested in 6 months. That's another chunk of money gone out of my pocket. And again, I'm already in a shitty situation. So it's like, yeah. So
See, I get what he's trying to say. It just didn't apply to you in that situation, as far as how you look versus, like some people need to sacrifice conditions for how they look, but we all know our bodies, right? So similar to you, I know that, let's say, obviously, if I lose my abs, it's a problem because for me to get in shape after that, we're going to need a 24-week prep. You know what I'm saying? Literally. So
little things like that, right? The veins in your legs. So check this out. You know, Turner Riddle, right, Justin?
I know internally, yeah.
So I'm in Panama City Beach, Florida, currently, and he linked up
Okay.
with me during Thunder Beach. So he came out and trained me on quads, and he made a comment. He was like, "Whenever you're training, try to make the veins pop." And I'm like, "I'm eating so fucking much, I can't see them. I haven't seen them in weeks." And that's something I try to keep. And I'm like, bro, they're there, but you should just see what I'm doing right now with this new coach. Like, I lost them.
Justin,
Does Turner live in Florida now?
No, he was down here for it's like Thunder Beach. It's a motorcycle shit. So he has some homies.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So he was down here with Gator. Do you know Gator? Anyways, he was just down here with some friends and we ended up linking. So we got a good session in and we hung out for a minute on his tailgate and just chopped it up. But those are, for me, I've watched all your videos, Justin. Like I watched Turner's training. That's my style of training. Like, back in the day, I've seen all the YouTube videos. I believe that my physique, I'm not going to speak for anyone else. It's built off training. Food does matter, but training and cardio is what it's like art. It molds my physique. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I did a seminar, uh, not this past Saturday, but the one before. And it kind of sucked. It wasn't the turnout I wanted because I wanted to actually preach something to people. And I basically said, what I'm going to do is with seminars, I'm going to start out, I'm going to tell you guys like the 4 or 5 principles with bodybuilding. And then at that point, I'm just going to turn it to a Q&A because you're going to have a lot of questions for me. And the first thing I said, if you want to be a bodybuilder, you can take whatever you want to take. You can eat however you want to eat. You can do whatever you want to do. I said, but if your training's not right, fucking nothing else matters. Like that has to come first. That's literally your muscle stimulant.
Yeah, yeah. And okay, so here's the thing about coaching as well, right? Um, you some coaches have like their methods, right? And some coaches have no method. They just kind of do what the body, like Chris Aceto literally has not one method. It's just what your body gives you. He's like the extreme example of that, right? And then let's say Milos. I've seen Milos's programs. It's almost always a shit ton of food, a shit ton of intra workout, and insulin is in there. And that's why it seems to work for some people and not so much some people, because it's like, I'm not saying he doesn't change it for people. He does, but it's still like a his way thing. And that's why sometimes you'll see clients just go crazy with the results. And some clients not much, because everybody's body doesn't do that, right? Let's say Justin. I'll start working with Justin. He sends me the workout and it's really high volume. And I just know I can't recover from that much volume. So I'm just like, hey, I can't recover from that much volume, and he just wanted to make sure I do enough. I don't go so back on volume. I do enough volume to still stimulate the muscle. That's it. So if you're in prep, whatever, yes, I like to cut the volume back even more in prep. But he's more like, make sure you don't overdo it, which I have done, because I didn't fight there and my intensity is going down, because at that point I was dieting so hard, like I would get weaker. And now the volume is low. So now I have no intensity and no volume. So I kind of like lost some size, right? So I get what he's saying with that too. So he's willing to, like, even if he prefers high volume, he doesn't care. He's not going to try to just make you fit into that mold. If you can't recover, and he knows, I know what I'm talking about. He's going, okay, so you don't have to do that much volume, right? Same way I was thinking about what you said about the staying lean, right? You know that about yourself. So that's something, you might have to work with a client with. But even deeper than that, how do you feel about a client's mental state? Let's say if you want a client to do 5-second negatives, but they hate training so much that it's kind of like they lose the passion for training. Are you willing to work with that, or you rather them just do it anyways?
Well, for one, they got to have, like when you said the passion for training, they got to have a passion to train. Depending on their style, I work with everything. So like typically when I'm going to say 80% of the people I take on are what I call like a cold shell, meaning they really, half of them don't know what the hell they're doing to begin with. So when it comes to like volume, I'll start high and I tell them like this is something that like almost every new client will get from me. It'll all be like I structure the body parts of what we need the most emphasis. Like the guy with small legs versus the guy with big legs ain't going to get the same exact workout, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the volume will still be high, and I tell them like I need your feedback. Like this is critical. Like don't just do it, go through the motions, be like, oh man, I'm dead. Like don't do that. I need to hear that. Like don't not tell me because to be fair, like when I worked with Factory years ago, I never gave the guy any feedback. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just checked in, said, here's my pictures, here's my weight, and I just did it. And to be fair about it, we probably would have made a better team had I given him more biofeedback. So like, and it comes same thing with the food, same thing with the gear, same thing with your mental status, your sleep. Like I need the feedback. So I treat it as a cold shell. And then as I'm getting the feedback in, that's when things start to like look like the initial plans will vary, but like when you see it like 2 months down the road, it may be something totally different because I'm starting to learn what you respond to and what you don't respond to.
It's a fact, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that, because, like, as far as training, I mentioned something, but when I was in prep, I never said anything to Justin. I didn't want him to think
I
I
can
was a
still hear
pussy.
you guys. You guys
Huh?
keep talking. I got to let my dog out real quick, but I can
Yeah,
still hear you.
you do think.
Come on, buddy.
I just didn't want Justin to think I was a pussy. So I would just follow it, the diet, no matter how shitty I felt. And I think that did us both a disservice because he didn't know how shitty I really felt. You know, I,
Bro,
I I think he probably would have changed some stuff. But what am I gonna say, Justin? Like I feel like shit, but it's not like regular prep shit. This is like shit. Like I can't even train type shit. I'm sure once I said I can't train, he'll be like, whoa, 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 whoa. You got to be able to train. But I just wanted to do it. I'm like, fuck it. Is this gonna make me in better shape? At that point, no, because at that point I'm losing tissue, and once I lose tissue, or once anybody loses tissue to lose body fat, I mean,
and
it's
check me out. I'm like you. I don't want to say nothing because I don't want to seem like I just do. I know how to do this shit, right? So I don't need to bother you. I'll see you on check-in day.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
the thing that got me is he told me he had a waiting list because he took me on. He was losing money. And basically, so I was like, you're calling me a prima donna, right? Because the only time I checked in, I never hit him up outside of that. And when I went down to Tampa to the Hurricane Pro, I was under a lot of stress because of the amount of food I was eating on top of I've never even traveled that with that much fucking food, dog. So
yeah,
it's like I'm crashing out because I'm stressed, and I just called him, and I will give him it. He helped me on the phone, but that was the one phone call. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just crazy. So I'm like Nick Walker right now. I'm a coach myself.
yeah. I think once your mental state shifts, like even if the visuals is telling me, hey, up her food, if the feedback is yo, this ain't it, I feel like shit, my sleep is shit, my training is shit, at that point I have to put the visuals aside. I'm gonna be like, visually I feel like I can give you more food, but it can't work if the feedback is telling me something different, or even your mental state. Once your mental state isn't there, I, I think things are not going to get better. You know, even if you were lean, really lean, but your mental state was off, that would automatically make me possibly change things. Like, okay, if you feel that shitty mentally, nothing good can come out of that, right?
I
Even
literally felt like I felt both ends of those spectrums this year. The beginning when I bailed from my show because I was so mentally like not healthy because I'm like a week out and I'm not ready and I'm also not getting the attention. And then
yeah,
now it's like, yeah, so it's just
opposite. Yeah, yeah.
I'm fucked up to be honest, but again, one foot in front of the other.
It happens. Yeah. I remember when you first told me that. I remember my first reaction kind of be like, "No, no, just finish the prep." But then after we talked a little bit more, then I kind of felt the opposite. I'm like, I don't think there's any point where once you lose this to keep going, because it's selfish, right? Well, Carlos Thomas actually isn't retired, but let's say he was. Okay, let's say
Was
he
that
was.
just fake news when I saw that?
No, technically he alluded to it. You know, he alluded to it on a podcast, I believe. And I think he thought about it, um, because we did talk about that a while back. So he definitely thought about it, but I don't think he's retired. You know, but let's be fair. A lot of bodybuilders have told me I'm retired, and they weren't retired. It was just at the time things it should be happening. You know, at the time, you're like, bro, I can't do this right here. Shit, almost every year I retire in my head. I just don't tell nobody. You know,
I'm
so
retired too. I'm retired right now.
hey, so I just don't say it out loud because I felt like things change. I wasn't gonna do USA's this year. We talked about it. I think I said
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna prep. You know, I'm gonna just diet because that's all I know anyways. So I'm gonna just diet anyways. I'm kind of chubby, so I want to diet anyways. And then I ended up doing it, and I did my best. You know, then I'm like North Americans or Olympia Nationals, and I'm like, I think let's hold it off there. You know, so I'm not doing any shows this year. I'm gonna wait until next year. You know, so yeah. Once this goes, At that point, I'm not so concerned about the bodybuilding part. I want to get you right up here because if you don't have that, it's none of it is worth it. So if you feel so strongly that, hey, I got to pull out this show, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna ask the right questions. Like we had that conversation. Is everything okay? What's the issue? And then once I understand what it is, then it's like, okay, maybe you're right. Or, depending on what it is, I might say, if it's like newer competitors sometimes get cold feet, that's different. I'm going to make a new show. No, fuck it. We going to do the show. But you don't have cold feet. You don't get cold feet. You would have to really be going through something for you to pull out a show. So at that
Yeah.
point, if you know that person, you'd be like, okay, I think it's best you just go back to the drawing board at that point. Why show a physique that's like not what you're capable of because of circumstances? It's like,
It's like my physique kind of reflects where my mind's at. Because again, where the mind goes, the body follows. You saw me at the Texas Pro. I was happy on stage, if
yeah,
you will.
uh-huh.
I'm not going to show up to a show pissed off, point blank.
Yeah.
So that's not professional. I'm not going to be on stage like fucking mugging in front, like, because I know I'm not ready. Like, I just don't want to show that.
I mean, this simple. If you eat, okay, you know how you say like we love the gym. If I feel like, oh my god, I don't want to go to the gym today, I don't go because usually that means something's off. Like I'm really overtrained or something's fucked up. Right? Same thing. I like to compete, so if I really feel strong, like no, I can't do this show. It's probably best I don't. We know ourselves. We know this is something we love. So if you don't feel that love and you're gonna be on stage kind of like fuck this, I want to get this over with. That's not bodybuilding. That's just not bodybuilding. Ernst talked about that. Well, what about classic? What if you? At this point, I almost hate it. There's no way I can make classic weight. I hate it. So yeah, you just didn't do it. So
Your cutoff would be what, like 215?
Huh?
Your cutoff would be what, like 215?
Oh, for classic, I actually thought about that. Yeah, I think at the amateur it's something like 217.
I wouldn't do that.
Now that being said, people have told me that, and I know why. I don't take offense to it. It's not meant to be offensive. Because if you look at my muscle bellies, you would think lighter, he might look better. But we've seen me lighter, Justin, and it doesn't look the way you think it's gonna look.
I feel like if you were just getting started,
yeah, I agree.
Like, and you didn't have that much muscle, but you ever notice like the only guy I think it's pulled it off good was Horse MD. I don't know Marcelo. That's his first name. I don't know his last name. But like usually when a guy like really fills his frame out and then comes down on muscle size, it don't look the same. Like the quality of the tissue doesn't look the same. Like for example, I'm gonna use myself as an example of this.
Yeah.
If I have a pump, I have an almost 21-inch arm with a pump, but it does not look like the same 21-inch arm when I was like 22 years old. The muscle belly doesn't look the same. In order for me to look that same, I'd have to go back to 24.
Yeah.
So in your case, I feel like if you were to suck down to 217 pounds, you're not going to look right. You would just kind of look like a twig.
Even like if I go down an extra 5 pounds from where I'm supposed to be at, it doesn't look better per se. I would hope it would, but it doesn't. I mean, you've coached me. You've seen like we're like, let's get under 250. Well, I don't. The glutes aren't really there. Let's go 245. Right? And it just doesn't. By the time I hit stage, you see some glutes, but it doesn't. The trade off is not what you would think it would be. Like in my head, I'm like, if I look like this at 250, oh shit, at 240, oh my god, I'm gonna be the most pure guy in the show. But we saw with Samson, it sometimes.
I was about to use him as an example.
You gain what 2% and you lost 10 pounds, and you're like, well, I guess I'll just never look like my glutes are never gonna look like Joe's. It just won't. So I can't. I almost can't just keep going down. I just gotta pick a look, and well, I guess we're gonna stop at 250. That's kind of what I did this year. I'm like, it's not getting deeper. So I'm gonna hold it right here, and then it just look the same but bigger, basically, right? So yeah. Sometimes you have to You have to factor that in. But to go back to Horace, he looked good enough to qualify for Olympia. But if you look at when he turned pro at that weight, he did look tighter and fuller and more pop on the way
It's
up.
just more. It's a different quality to the muscle.
Yeah.
Like once you've been big and you come down, it doesn't look the same ever again. Look at any retired pro bodybuilder. Like they're still big, but like the if you took the measurements and put them on an up and coming guy, the up
Yeah.
and coming guy just looks fresh.
Well, shit.
Versus we just look wore out.
Even the same prep, right? Look at look at Joe on the way down at 270, and then look at Joe on the rebound at 270. It's like the 270 on the rebound looks a lot more impressive on the way up than it did on the way down, right? On the way
Yep.
down, always looks flatter and softer. On the way up, whoa! Now we talking. Look, so shit. Look at Joe at 290 starter prep versus 290. Yeah, it's like on the way up, just there's a different look to it. It's always better that way. Who else was gonna say? I was thinking about damn. We said Horace. There was somebody else that was on my head. I'm drawing a blank now. Somebody that.
One of the guys that pulled it off good when he came out of retirement was Darren Charles.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. But
He actually, I mean, he qualified for the Olympia a couple of times in Classic.
he never had an off season though back in the days. You remember he did no cardio, and he would be like 10, 15 pounds over stage weight. So I think his skin just stayed super tight. His skin super.
I didn't know that about him. I never knew a lot about I just see the stage shots. I never had any communication with him. And back then, there was no social media to follow what people.
No, I saw that on. You never saw the it was called Titans or Muscle Time Titans, some shit like that. Unless you probably seen it. One of those old DVDs from
Like where they're doing like Ultimate Warriors like challenges.
no, it's what's the guy that used to do the Battle for Olympia? Mitsuru. He has some videos called Titans. They followed Dexter Jackson, Victor Martinez, and Darren Charles. And follow them around all day. It was it was YouTube before YouTube. It was like vlogs basically. And Darren was with his family and all of this, and he was talking about his diet and all that. And that's the only video I've ever seen really on Darren. But he did no cardio. He did no cardio, trained twice a day, I believe. And then he would just grow and get leaner at the same time.
I believe in that.
You know what I do now? For a long time, I couldn't get with it, and now I see it. I see it, and it just makes more sense for some body types. If you could snap your fingers and get in shape like some people, it doesn't matter. You could do whatever you want. But I think most people, man, I'm starting to believe in this staying leaner and lighter thing. I got to be honest. At least for me, I don't do it for all my clients, but for a lot of body types, just being too heavy, like the sleep, recovery, training, that would be my issue. Every time I'm 300, my training doesn't get better. It gets worse. Over 280, it gets worse. And then my sleep, I've tried the apnea mask. I can't keep it on. So my sleep goes to shit. Once my recovery goes to shit, now I'm sleeping all day. I'm drowsy, and there goes my off season. I'm just drowsy, tired, I feel like shit. So it's just the trade off isn't worth it to me. I tried taking Trent off season. I can't sleep. I got attitude. My appetite is gone. Okay, but I'm veiny and full. It doesn't matter. I don't carry that on all the way to stage. So it's like I'm at a point now. I don't want to create issues that I have to counter with some other medication or have to counter with a mask or supplement. If adding something in impedes my training, digestion, recovery, sleep, nowadays, even mood, if I'm being honest, I want no parts of it. It doesn't lead to more muscle for me.
No, I agree with you 100% on that. I have that conversation with people all the time. I don't want to add one thing that's going to cause us to have to add four other things to fix that.
Exactly. Listen, I love John Regan. He's passed away. I love that guy. He's a really good man. But I really wish I would have met Justin before John Regan, because how you learn to bodybuild is hard to get out of that. And it was old school, which works, but it's too much. It's too much of everything. It's too much. So it's like all I knew was push, 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 more food, more cardio, more drugs, everything push. And yes, at 21, you gain a shit ton of muscle that one off season. And then you never really, like, if you saw me in my early 20s, you would think by now, shit, I should be 300 on stage, right? Because look at the progress, but yeah, you get that big chunk, and then eventually you just can't recover, right? So okay, when you're 250, it's all good. Once you actually get to heavier, everything bad goes. Everything, it just starts to the cons outweigh the pros, right? So the more drugs, more shit going on, worse sleep, everything goes to shit. So I found that my progress kept getting less and less and less. And if I would have went out the gate more of like a, I don't want to say new school, but more of like a more rhyme and reason. Like Justin's not gonna just add something just to add it. It'll be like, yeah, Justin pretty much lowered my drugs every off season, every prep. It got lower, and I never asked him why he did it, but I get it because it just works better. I look better. I feel better. Everything is better. I don't even have to diet as hard. You know, if I'm on 750 test, I don't confuse that water weight for fat and then have to diet off muscle, right? So it's like it just makes more sense. If that would have been my entry into bodybuilding, I would have. I am healthy, but I would have been even healthier, longevity better. I think I would have been far ahead in progress, everything, right? So be
I
careful.
never really had any engagement with John, but I feel like so there was John, and there's been a few guys over the years. Couple of them I could name, a couple of them I wouldn't name just because I won't give them any exposure.
Yeah.
Because a couple of them I don't like.
Yeah.
But I think they think they know what they're doing and they have good intentions, but some of them think it takes XYZ to get to a certain level when they're not willing to try. Like I had a guy come to me one time, it was his first cycle, and he was on over 2 grams.
Yeah.
And he came from one of those coaches that I'm referring to. And that was literally what the guy's first cycle was. It was like 1,000 tests, like 500 to something else and 500 to something else. I'm like, holy shit. Like, where are you planning on going with this in a couple of years?
That's what it was.
Like, I know I've seen some of John's plans, and one of them, I don't know if this was a text message or this was an email or what this was, but the guy had asked him, because he just put GH, didn't say how much, he put GH. So the guy asked him, how much GH? He goes, as much as you can afford. I'm like, man, that's not really the way you should be doing this.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, at the time I was probably 22, 23, and the cycle was for your 1,500 test and then 600 basically. So whatever two, do 600 of that, and then there was orals, probably 100, you know, and I didn't think anything of it. Listen, I'm not saying people don't do that, but they do that way later on after they're already, you know, they're top pros. If that, honestly, at this point, people are doing a little bit less. I think to some extent, some people.
I think from what I've seen with the people I've worked with this year, it's really varied all across the board.
Okay.
I've seen some top tier guys, top tier genetics that is using minimal. I mean, look fucking good. And I hate to say it, usually the guys that's using the most don't look that good. Like it's like why like then when I try to explain to them, like you realize you're taking more now and you've never even competed than I took as an Olympian. And I know in their mind they're thinking, oh, he's lying to me. He's not telling me the truth. But like it just I don't understand that philosophy and that mentality, but I don't think that's something they figured out on their own. I think they've been taught that by someone that they've trusted. And now that's instilled into them.
You can't forget it.
I can't. It's hard to fix that.
No, that's literally what happened to me. I met Boston before. Boston is the one that put me on to John Regan. So one of my early introductions was Boston, somebody my age who's winning overalls. So I'm gonna take his word, right? So he's telling me, no, this is what you have to do. Oh, and it makes sense, right? Why these people look better than me? Drugs. They take more drugs. That makes perfect sense. I don't know. How would I know? But Boston is also learning from other people. Yes, there's people who take a shit ton of drugs that are bigger than you, but they're still not as big as the guys taking half the shit, right? So, like, look at this guy. Yeah, me. Yeah, how you doing? I'm a friend of Boston. Yeah, I take 5 grams. Well, he's bigger than me. Okay, but he still kind of looks like shit compared to the other people who are telling me not to do that, right? He doesn't look like Justin, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but so Boston is looking wrong. They're bigger than me. They know what they're talking about. But these are not the people you should be listening to because those people literally look the same for the next fight. Like I saw them after the fact. They're looking the same and nothing is happening but health issues. None of them moved up the ranks, nothing. So it's like, if it worked, wouldn't y'all be the top pros? How come y'all not the top guys? Well, it's genetics. Exactly. That's the whole point. It is genetics. It's not the drugs. So you know what I'm saying? So, and I would argue, I don't know. I don't know exactly what Dallas did, but from working with John Regan, I have idea. I have some kind of idea at that time. You know, Dallas.
I remember a quote from him, and this was I've heard this from several of John's clients, so I believe this to be true.
Mhm.
But we asked Dallas. I say we. I wasn't the one who asked him, but I was present at the time.
Mhm.
And he asked him, "Is it really true John has you take that much tren?" And his answer was, "No, man, it's not that much. It's just 350 a day." And I just kind of like, just lowered my head and raised my arm. Did he just say just 350 a day? And like the conversation got kind of quiet. And I'm like, man, this poor kid doesn't he just doesn't know. Like he thinks that that's like on the low end. He thinks that's normal.
To be honest, yeah, so did I. Like I just said, that cycle I told you, I thought that was low to normal, because I had nothing to compare it to, right? And then, like you said, the GH as much as you can take. So for the trend, let's say it would be like 600 a week, and 2 weeks out, basically till the show, it would be pretty much as you can handle. So it would keep going up until you couldn't handle it. But at 23, you can handle anything. So you're just gonna keep going up.
Well, unless you end up in jail from doing something from it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
what happened to me on Sunday or a couple days
Like
ago.
you end up in
I'll,
jail?
no,
Nah.
I'll send you a video whenever we get off this phone call.
Okay.
It's actually funny to me, but I'll talk about it. So I was at the gym and I was training again. My mental state. I barely been in the gym the past 2 weeks. I barely been eating. I got a homegirl here. I said, Courtney, what are you training tomorrow? She said legs. We link up for legs. I'm literally just running through her stuff. I'm following her lead. There was this dude, this white boy, just literally by himself, just talking smack about steroids. Like no one's paying no attention to him, but I just heard something about like, well, I don't look like that because I'm not on steroids, and I just like looked up, and he's looking right at me, and I'm the only person that looks like they're on steroids in the gym. Well, then a couple minutes later, he got into it with this other Mexican guy. And again, it was about the steroid thing. And he was like in the mirror flexing, like, I'm bigger than you. I'm not even on gear. Da-da-da. I was like, well, take your clothes off. Let's see what's under them clothes. And then he looks over and he's like, shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down. So I stood up. I got out of leg press. And as soon as I did that, he like ran, grabbed a 35, and then runs at me. And he like goes to hit me with it. He like shoulder bumps me, and I'm just in the video. I'm just like, you're on camera, and he just runs into me, and he got banned from the gym. But
There's so much wrong. There's so much wrong with that I don't even know where to start. For why the fuck did he felt like he needed a 35-pound plate?
I don't know.
Is it
I don't know.
So what are you gonna do with that? You're gonna hit somebody with that? Hell, he probably does well to pick it straight up, let alone swing it.
bro.
So I talked to a sheriff. It was aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, but I'm about to
Yeah,
be
it
out
would
of
be.
here. Yep, it is, and I'm not even gonna deal with it because he's already had issues in the gym in the past 2 weeks. He's like tried to fight two other old men, and it's an old people facility. So he broke the lat pullover. He like had it fully racked out down here in the contraction and just pulled his arms out. It flew back and a metal rod like snapped off like. But I don't know.
So
I thought he was like a 20-year-old kid. He's 32.
Oh
did
no.
you press charges on him?
That's the thing. Like I can go to the gym tomorrow because I live in town. I have to be on the beach side to talk with the beach police. I'm just not even gonna. I'm gonna take that L as well.
That
I
that
probably I'm gonna go against you on that. Just hear me out for a second. It's
Yeah.
not really so much like about you in this case, but like if he's been in two fights and he's doing this and he's not gotten in trouble for it, he's going to continue to do it because
E-
again he sees it as like I can get away with this type of behavior. So if it was me, there's two ways to look at this. One, there's the vindictive side to just say fuck you buddy, I'm going to put your ass in jail just for doing what you did. But then there's the other side that's like, you know, what if he takes this too far just hear me out, what if he takes it too far with like another woman and he hurts her or something, and really he should have had his ass locked up to begin with. So
Yeah.
just let that simmer, over the next day or so, because you still got time to do it. And I don't think you as the victim have to, I don't think you have to do anything. And now I understand if you have to show up in court and like testify or something, I mean, okay, you're moving to Texas. That's a pain in the ass to have to show
Well,
back up in the court of Florida.
no, the cop said I can do a
Court of
Zoom
Florida.
call. I can do it through Zoom if that comes to it. But again, I have a history with my ex. She's a cop caller, and I'm not a cop caller. And I know you're right because again, because he's gonna have to go to a different gym. If he's going to a different gym, acting a fool, it's almost like I kind of enabled that in a sense. I feel because I didn't do anything about it, but
well
Well, he's also, I mean, he could find out the hard way. He may actually
exactly.
go to another gym
That's exactly what
and
I'm thinking.
he may decide to step up his game and not pick on women, and he may pick on a man, and that man may end up fucking
well,
him up really good.
that's what actually happened though. Is he was doing it with me, like he was talking shit about me, and then he was over there, and this Mexican dude, he's competing and shit, like he's jacked, and they were getting into it, and then the white boy just was talking about steroids to him, so he chose me as the easy target. But again, why do you need a 35-pound plate? Like
Yeah.
he didn't go after the big dude, he went after me.
He's gonna he's gonna upset the wrong person, especially if it's steroid related. If he's talking about steroids, you know what I'm saying? So like let's say if I'm in prep or I'm just in a bad mental state and then that happens to me, I just might take it way too far. I might take it
Well,
way too far.
he also hasn't taken into consideration that like if he does that to the wrong woman and she's got a man at home that acts a little violent, and I'm just going to kind of roll my eyes because I wouldn't know anyone like that, right?
Yeah.
You know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I
If I'm
understand.
sitting here and that story came in this house right now, I'm going to say, okay, you're getting the car. We're going to go right back to the gym right now, and you're going to point him out to me right now. And it's going to happen. We're going to get your phone up. We're going to get a hell of a YouTube video for this too, because
Yeah,
I'm going to wear his fucking ass out.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, I
And
mean,
I'm not even going to
even
confront him the right way. I'm just going to walk up and blindside him.
I know, and again, I'm down here in Panama City, all these white people. I will say this, it was de-escalated and it was handled, I guess, maturely in the gym. But if I was in Texas with my Texas homies, they would have rocked his shit right on site.
Yeah, I don't think Texas would play, and I think probably because you're in Panama City, it may be a little bit different. But like here, where I'm at in Port St. Lucie, it's a little bit more of a country redneck side of Florida. I don't think they would have played either.
yeah.
Yeah.
If
Especially Texas, though, he would have got his ass kicked.
on
if
site.
But honestly, maybe that's just what he needs. Rather than going to jail, maybe he just needs somebody to walk up and, you know, crack his nose or, let him wake up on the sidewalk and not know how he got there.
There's only like one or two other gyms on the beach side. So the other gym that he's gonna have to resort to, which I phone called and said, "Hey, this dude just assaulted me. Don't let him in your gym. He's a liability." Because I know the owners and stuff. But if he does go to that gym, that's the bodybuilder gym. So he's gonna be around people on steroids, and again, he's gonna either get hurt someone and end up in jail, or someone's gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, shit. I'll put girlfriend aside. If any of my friends, if somebody took a plate to any of my friends, and I'm there present at the gym, oh, it's gonna be a fight. There's no other way around it. I can't just be like, hey, bro, don't do that.
I
That
was literally like, it happened so like I mean, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, you're gonna come at me and there's cameras because again, I have a history of getting kicked out of gyms for no reason. So I do my best to just not be the problem.
yeah, yeah,
But I just yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy. I'll send you the video.
Yeah, I think most gyms that have like any like gym car, I would say any of the gyms I go to, shit, not even my friends, even the random lady in the corner that we just say hi and bye. Anybody took a plate to her, everybody's jumping in. Everybody's jumping in. That guy doesn't even leave the gym, and that's not even like a friend. That's just a random acquaintance. Shit, even if
Yeah.
we didn't know the girl, let's be honest, right? Justin, at the gyms you go to, even if y'all didn't know the girl, and a grown ass man takes a plate like this, we just jumping in. We don't have to know.
It'd be a problem. Yeah.
Exactly what I'm saying. So,
Well, you know my story with the YMCA, right?
which story are you talking about?
I don't.
The old guy with the cane. I think I told you this in Vegas.
You might have. I was really high in Vegas for the most part.
So yeah, that actually it was a similar scenario, and this didn't end in any type of violence. It did end up with all of us getting kicked out, but it was because I wasn't going to sit here and stand for it. But there was an old guy that trained at the YMCA, and I don't know if he's just one of the older, like just disgruntled old men that you meet in life that's always angry about something. I don't know. I always saw him around, and I think that I try to stay clear of everyone in the gym, not because there's a problem, it's because I just simply don't want to talk. I actually try not to make friends in the gym. Like I want my friends I want my gym buddies to not train in the same gym as me, or I just don't want no friends in the gym. Because when I walk in, I try to walk in with my head on right, do my shit, and leave. But
Mhm.
anyways, I would always see this old guy, and he was not like at one point he had a knee brace on, looked like he had surgery or something, and he walked with a cane. Cool, do you, man? This is not really part of the story, but it kind of is a part of the story. He loved the Smith machine. For whatever reason, he loved the Smith machine. We only had one. He would tie it up when he would get there. He would tie it up for like an hour at a time. Again, can't stop you from doing it. Gym, it's a shared space. Do what you need to do. But I remember there would be a few times like I would be on it and he would approach me and he would approach me in kind of like a again, maybe I'm reading the room wrong with this, but in a dickhead demeanor. Like the way he would talk would always kind of be like, how much more you got on you? Like, don't worry about it, man. You take it for an hour, I'll finish it. I'll finish when I'm done. But I would just tell him, I'm like, I got about three sets left. Well, how long is that going to be? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I got 3 sets left. Like, when people start acting like that, sometimes I may take an extra breather on purpose. You
Me
know,
too.
he's kind of a shithead, but we never had any beef until we had beef. So fast forward, this was my final. No, 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 it wasn't my final day of the gym with attacking because I didn't catch him that day. I knew who he was. Apparently, Ariel was in the gym, and I I wasn't there, so I didn't see this, but they have cameras, and the manager confirmed the story. That's probably the only reason that this didn't like go to like legal matters, law enforcement, because I basically told the old guy because You know how like technically you don't have to touch someone for it to be assault? It's battery when you touch someone. The way
Yeah.
you word things can still be considered assault. The only reason he wasn't going to get assault charges pressed on me is because we had the camera footage. We were going to press it. We're going to literally press it right back on him. The difference is I didn't physically touch him and I didn't have a weapon. He did, his cane. And he wasn't like crippled, but the thing is, when you wave a cane in someone's face in a
It's battery.
threatening manner,
Yeah.
it's a threat. The thing is, you're yelling, you're cussing, and you're doing it in a threatening manner. That's going to look a lot worse than me getting in your face in court. So it's like, and I kind of like, I confronted him about it. The thing is, when I confronted him, all I wanted was a simple apology. Hey man, I had a bad day. I was a dick. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's all I was expecting was an apology. No, no, no. Just like most people, when they get called out on stuff, he doubles down, raises his voice, and kind of sticks his chest out to me. This didn't end well. So I was on the verge, and I thought about it. I was like, Justin, if you hit this man, not only are you going to hurt him, you're not going to just get regular assault charges. You're probably going to get like some type of charge for like beating the elder because he was over 70 years old. But see, here's the thing: everyone's like, you should respect your elders. Fuck that. If the elders can't respect us, fuck that. You live to be 70 years old. How did you live to be 70 years old? You didn't act that way in your 30s because if you did, you'd be crippled by now. Somebody would have unalived you by now.
Yeah.
Like you didn't get this far in life by treating people like shit. Like I know that. So just because you're old and you think you can do it when you're old, that's not going to fly. I respect you. You respect me. We respect boundaries. We don't have to like each other, but the respect factor has to be there. So yeah, he kind of gets in my face, and I get right. And clearly, I'm not backing down. It gets loud, and I thought to myself, I was like, okay, I'm going to physically let him touch me, just anything at all. It touch because we're already threatening each other. He's threatening me, and I'm threatening him. And I'm like, just come, like you're not gonna whiplash. And I was watching his hands
Command me,
because
bro.
Florida's got a concealed. We can conceal the carry, right? I'm watching his hands, and I got thinking if I see him going for his waist, I'm gonna have to knock him out. I'm gonna have to discharge him with everything I got and knock his old ass out. There's no option. I'm not gonna get shot in the gym. And I actually told him afterwards, I was like, one of us has to go because I don't feel comfortable walking in this gym now because I don't know that he's going to bring a gun in here next.
This is true.
Because he knew how pissed off I was that day. He could have just simply apologized and just let it go, but he doubled down, acted like he told me it didn't happen. And then after shit got heated, the manager got involved. The manager's like, yeah, I knew about it. And I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, so you knew about it. And the manager was an old guy. And he said, well, he didn't mean it like this. I'm like, Gary, stop. You knew about it and you downplayed it. So like I was going to document all of this if it got to the point where the police were called. And I didn't care at that point. And the thing is, he actually had the audacity when he left. Like when I'm mad at you, do not try to shake my hand. We're not going to shake hands and just like make up. That's not how it's going to be. I don't care what went down. If I was at the point that I was ready to get physical with you, we are never going to get along ever again. And he actually he like approached me, and the manager's like, wait, whoa, 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 because the manager thought I was going to literally just like he stuck his hand out. And he's like, he wanted to shake hands with me. I said, get your fucking hand out of here and get the fuck out of my face. And then that just escalated furthermore. I was like, dude, we're not going to be cool after you just pulled this shit, try to act victim like you didn't do anything wrong. Like I'm the one gaslighting when you're the one that's actually doing it and you're on fucking camera doing it. So, yeah, I'm a little hot headed when it comes to that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever been kicked out of a gym. And I'm glad, to be honest, because I didn't enjoy the damn place.
Yeah.
Hey, when people say respect the elderly, right? Well, don't you respect everybody who respects you?
Yeah, you should.
You know?
That's my rule. It's like, you respect me, I respect you. Like, I'm sorry, but like, if a 16-year-old kid comes up and slaps me, he's gonna taste the concrete. If a 12-year-old kid comes up and punches me in the face, I'm going to punch his ass right back. I
Yeah.
don't care. And I'm a 37-year-old man saying that. Now, if you're 85 years old and you're going to wave and hit me with a cane, better hope you knock me out because you may be in a walker for the rest of your life. I'm going to go full blown ape shit on you. But again, it just goes both ways. Like,
100%.
you respect me, I respect you. There's no problem.
Hey,
Like, and if everybody in the world had that mentality, we wouldn't see the violence that we see today. I'm just the type, I try to mind my own business, but I'm also not going to let anyone walk on me either.
no, not at all.
I do my best to stay away from any type of violence. Now, I will say the boat ramps in Florida is pretty damn cool to watch because you get to, it's almost like it's like amateur MMA hour seeing guys fight because I've seen several like very poorly, I don't want to say executed fights, but it was, I don't
Terrible.
even know what the hell you call it. But it's funny. It's really funny to watch.
Hey, when I was bouncing in New York, we used to have they would have after proms, right? So these are like 17-year-old kids, right? And fights always break out because 17-year-olds they don't understand authority, they don't understand consequences, right? They're young. So one time a really bad fight broke out. The entire party was fighting. They grabbing furniture, throwing it. At first we're trying to be cool. Hey, y'all can get out. We're just grabbing them. Once they start hitting us with furniture, it was gloves off at that point, right? And then the girls are like, oh
Yeah.
my God, they're kids. I'm like, well, your kids is punching me in the face. I'm gonna punch them in the fucking. What do you want me to do? So we just throwing it. We're literally throwing them down the stairs, the whole nine. They get outside, they see the cops. So the cops are like, okay, settle down. And some of the girls are trying to hit the cops. So the cops are body slamming these kids. It's like, y'all gotta. We're not gonna let y'all hit the cops. Like, what the fuck you think is gonna happen? They're body slamming the kids outside, and everybody screaming, "Oh my God, they're just a kid!" It's like, so act like kids. What the fuck you want us to do? Right? You're putting your hands on adults, and you think we're supposed to be like your kids, so we're not gonna do shit. No, it doesn't. That's not how you gotta learn. You're 17. You gotta learn the lesson. Some of these kids are bigger than us.
Yeah. They know that too. Or so they think they do. They think because they're underage that you can't do anything. But if they touch you first, and they want, I mean, especially swinging furniture or swinging a chair,
That's crazy.
game on. I
No,
mean,
yeah,
I'm not saying that you should paralyze the kid or anything like that, but do what you have to do to protect yourself.
exactly.
And
And
clearly, if they're doing it to the bouncers and then they do it to the cops too,
you got to learn.
these kids are all gonna end up in prison at some point in life.
Oh yeah, and they're still getting it easy because if an adult hits me with furniture, oh man, you go in the dumpster. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do to you after that. You know?
Look, I was
I
training
don't
legs.
know.
I was not prepared to fight.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking wobble. He gonna catch me slipping. He gonna whip my ass. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, but think about it, Justin. When you was in high school, would you ever swing on bouncers or cops? Like that wouldn't even cross my mind. Like why
I'm
would
not
I
going to
fight
swing
on?
on a cop now at 37.
Okay, I've never
Like, you're
thought.
going to lose that no matter what. There is no possible good outcome of you
No,
trying to assault a police officer. There's nothing good going to, even if he assaults you, that I would love for a police officer to illegally assault me
you got to make a
because
lot of
I'm going to
money.
go straight to a lawyer and I'm going to make a shitload of money off of that.
It happens. You know, it happens all the time, right? That's the
But
best
the
way to
moment
handle
I start getting violent with him, I'm going to lose my case. So if you want to
it.
throw me on the ground, throw my ass on the ground, punch me, kick me, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to touch you, but I'm going to get paid off this.
Do
Yeah.
you
Hey,
ever feel like your image, like let's just say something happened and you end up in trouble, either of you, do you feel like your image because you're the big jack dude on gear that you're automatically the bad guy?
It
Because Roy
depends. I
like
feel
Roy
like
raging and shit.
if it was he said she said or he said whatever it is, like if it's all verbal, I feel like it might possibly go against you. But if there's any witnesses or cameras that says, hey, this guy was the aggressor, I can't see how, like, say it went all the way to trial and you have a jury. They're not supposed to judge it based on size or anything like that. They're supposed to judge it based on the law. So if this guy was the aggressor and he decided to charge at me with a 35-pound plate and I caught him with an elbow and I knocked him down and he hits his head off a piece of equipment, now he's got brain damage. That's not my fault. You charged
Yeah.
me with a weapon.
Yeah.
So, you could argue maybe I'm twice his size, twice his strength, or half his age, or whatever the case may be, but you were the aggressor and you had the weapon and it's on camera. So I don't think it would be held against you in that case. The
Yeah.
only time I think it is held, and I may be wrong on this, I've never actually asked a pro fighter this, but I think if you're actually like legally a professional trained combat fighter, whether it be Muay Thai, boxing, MMA, whatever it is, I then think the law is slightly different if you hurt them.
Yeah, I think if
Because
your
they can
hands are
argue to say that
registered,
you're,
It's like
yeah,
a
if
deadly
you're
weapon, I
considered,
believe. Yeah,
yeah.
like
yeah,
you.
if you're, because trying to think, I watched a video on this. It was a fucked up video. I read like three different things as to like why the man did it, but he basically knocked this guy out, beats the shit out of him completely unconscious, and he has him face down, and his arms are spread out, and he breaks both of his arms too while he's down and knocked out. But because that guy was actually a trained fighter, they threw the whole book at him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could see why, low key. There's a lot of fighters that go to zoo culture. A lot of people that train, whether Muay Thai or BJJ. It could be a 60-year-old female fighter could drop you with a leg kick, like with 50% leg kick, just on your boom, you drop right to the floor. It's like there's just so much better than us, and most of us can't fight, but we
The
can
law
beat.
is a little weird.
Huh?
The law is a little weird when it comes to that though, because like, don't get me wrong, like I like if you're a professional fighter, and I think the military, like certain levels of military, this applies to them as well. Like say if you're a Marine or something like that,
Mhm.
like I don't think you should be going around agitating, starting shit, but at the same time, if you've tried to de-escalate and this person has full intentions of hurting you, I see no problem with you acting in only in self-defense.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you
I
mean.
see no problem with that. But I think like if you're a fighter and you even act in self-defense, I'm pretty sure you're going to get suspended or potentially go to jail too. Which
That's why.
sucks because there's people always want to challenge the guys like it's always either the drunk guy or the little guy or both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the ones that wants to start the shit.
There's plenty of videos of boxers or MMA fighters being in that situation, and they never react at all. They never react because they can't. They just can't.
The best thing you could possibly do is if you're able to avoid their shots when they come at you, is to just avoid them and let them and just make them look like an asshole. Just move. I don't even want to say throw them to the ground because then they can argue that you hurt them doing that. But if you could just move out of the way, because most people are going to gas after 45 seconds anyways.
For sure, yeah. There's a video of what's the guy's name? The UFC fighter, the Spanish one with the brother.
Nate,
Nate, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was I think it was a bouncer that was trying to fight him, but he wasn't going to fight. Obviously, it's just not. I don't know why anybody would want to fight a UFC fighter to begin with, but Nate
May be the only one that would be a good prospect because he's got so many head injuries. He probably isn't very good at this point.
There's
But just
another.
generally speaking, no, I'm not going to go up to Stipe and want to pick a fight with him, or especially Francis.
Yeah. No, you don't want that. You don't want that problem. There's another video of this pro boxer. He's at like a baseball game, and this taller guy is just yelling in his face, like, yeah, and he's just standing like this.
I saw this very
You saw that,
recently.
right? And he smiles and just walks away, and then they show his highlights of him just knocking people out. And like this guy probably thinks, look at this little guy. Yeah, okay, yeah. he he's
But
doing
that guy
his
had
thing.
to think about his career.
Yeah, he actually walked away, which is fun. Because imagine knowing you could do that and just walk away smiling. It's like you kind of want it because he thinks he's won. He's like, yeah, walk away, yeah. And he kind of like, okay, bro, all right.
He probably, I'm sure, because that video went viral. I saw it.
It did.
I'm sure the guy I'm
Sounds
sure
good.
that guy saw the video and realized he probably had no idea who he was trying to mess with. And he probably found out later and he probably was very thankful that the guy walked away.
Yeah.
He's probably like, yeah, I punked his ass. Yeah, he didn't want it.
I mean, I couldn't imagine like I can't think of, like, I wouldn't dare say something to someone like Francis anyway, because the guy stands like a foot taller than me almost. But
Yeah.
like, I couldn't imagine like, who's like, what's the pro fighter? It's like five, like Randy Couture. Couldn't imagine getting into an argument with like Randy Couture and not knowing who he was, and then finding out later, be like, yeah, he actually probably saved my life. He
Yeah.
probably let me live today.
You gotta you gotta know your limits. I think it's important to know your limits. It doesn't make you it doesn't make you a pussy. It doesn't make you less masculine to understand what's going. It just makes you smart. Like you don't pick a fight that you have no chance of winning. You know, you might have to leave it alone, bro. You might go talk your shit and be like, all right, bro. All right, you see me outside, bro, and get the fuck up out of there. Once you get outside, just go, all right, you lucky my girl is here. I gotta go. Some shit, but don't pick a fight if you know. I think we're in the era where people like to talk only because they know that they're protected, right? So it's like online people talk in videos, stuff like that. But you might meet somebody in person, and then especially like with the YouTube videos, right? Well, we saw Martin get into it with Giles. I don't think Giles actually talk shit, but just in general.
What is what exactly was has he didn't actually like assault Giles, right? He just
He
kind of
probably
yelled
just
at
like
him.
flicked
Yeah,
the
just
camera, like flicked
put
the
the
phone
phone.
out. Like it wasn't even like a punch or nothing.
Like technically,
I didn't
that
hear
would
about
be
it like until a couple days ago.
that could be battery as well. But
It absolutely could, yeah.
yeah,
Damn.
guy Giles doesn't. Some people said he was being overly sensitive. I think the opposite. I think he didn't even release the video, and he didn't trash him. He just said he thought it was unprofessional. He thought they should just talk. That's fair. Everybody has the right to feel whatever they feel, right? And I think it's up to them to handle it. I've seen videos people saying he should be like suspended by the league, and further, the league isn't really a league. It's not like the NBA. It's like I heard it's like a non-profit organization. They just sanction shows. They don't even throw the shows. So it's like I don't think the league is responsible for any of that. I think they're two grown men and they can hash it out. If Giles has a problem with it, then he could also go, hey, let's talk. If Mark has, they got to figure it out,
But
right?
but Giles was like in the hospital that same night, saying his heart was damaged from that situation.
The issue is he has heart issues. I don't see the I don't see the correlation personally,
I
but
thought
He
they
was
were
scared.
I thought he said they were at the after party together at the promoter's house. Or yeah,
That
his
was
house.
after the fact. So after that happened, he went to the after party and he just wanted to see if Martin wanted to talk. So he said he made himself available to see if Martin wanted to talk. Martin's not going to talk to you. Honestly, I think he doesn't have to, but I think if he wanted, I think he probably should have pulled Martin. Hey, Martin. Hey,
That's what I
you
was
want
gonna say.
to talk about it? I think his fear was that Martin. Martin is um you don't know how he's going to respond to that. If he calls him, he might say, "Oh, what happened? What you want to do?" So, but I think he should have been, "Hey, Martin, let's talk." If he was at the after party, anyways, I think they would have hashed it out because Martin is a nice guy. I mean, I think he can get emotional. He wears his heart on his sleeve, but he is a nice guy at the core. I think honestly, if he just talk, hey, I just had a different opinion. It wasn't personal. I think he would have been like, yeah, you're right. I overreacted, and I think that would have been it.
I think
But
that's exactly how it would have played out.
yeah, you're not gonna fight
Like
John.
I would have purposely, like, if I was in Giles' shoes, I would have actually approached him. I would have probably have done it in as solo a manner as possible. I wouldn't want to make a scene, a crowd, or have a bunch of guys around. I
Yeah,
would say, hey man, come here. I'd really just like to talk to you. Like, say it in a calm manner. Don't say it aggressively to fire him up. Because again, sounds like Giles didn't mean him any harm to begin with.
no,
And maybe something was taken out of context. I'm really not sure because I don't even know what the hell was said there. But
nobody.
I just think if he would have walked up and just said, "Hey, look, man, like we had a misunderstanding, and I don't want to be on bad terms with you. Let's talk, man to man. Like I'm not here to shit on you. I'm here to be mean to you. Like I have nothing against you." And I think Martin would have been very receptive to that. But
Yeah, so
I
too.
don't know. Martin was obviously pissed off about something, and if I can only imagine if I was pissed off at someone, I'm having to look at them across the room. I probably wouldn't have said too
Having
much
them
either. I wouldn't have
videotape you.
approached. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like because you could always say, just don't be sensitive, don't let it get to you. But if you're in prep on a diet on gear and you're hearing stuff from people you call friends, it's possible. It's possible to get a little sensitive. Like if we're being honest, right? I find myself getting more sensitive in prep. I got to be honest. Like I'm like sometimes my own friends, I used to see posts and I'll be like, he's talking about me. He's not talking about me, probably about but you can kind of get in your head a little bit, like, wait, that was weird. Why did he say it like that? So realistically, I could see at that state of mind how you could be sensitive, but if you have a real conversation man to man, you'll get over it because Giles doesn't mean anybody any harm ever, I'm sure. So hopefully they talk. I would say call him. I think he would pick up. Call him. Hey, what's up, Mario? Everything okay? did I say something? What happened?
yeah. I think just having a simple conversation, even through DMs or whatever, voice notes, whatever. I mean, I would want to, because let's face it, they're going to meet in the same building at some point again. This is not like it's not like they're going to avoid each other forever. Giles has been around for heck, he's been around on the forum boards since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So like, he's not going anywhere. And Martin's a top four Olympian. He's not going anywhere. You guys are going to cross paths. So I figure it would be best to just squash the beef and figure out what it is.
I understand. Sometimes being on a podcast and just talking openly and you forget the camera is there. I think sometimes you can word things in a way that could come off disrespectful, right? I've done it, but people have done on this podcast where sometimes it's like it was a show where Brandao beat Tonio, and we kind of all were like, he doesn't look like he's in shape, right? He looks 4 weeks out. Like, imagine you winning a show and hear somebody say, "Oh, you look 4 weeks out or 6 weeks out." You could take offense to that, and like we're laughing and stuff. We're just having fun on the podcast, but in that state of mind, you could be like, "Fuck those guys," It's possible. So
I think a lot of bodybuilders are very sensitive in that sense in general. It's like if you don't praise them, they see it as I usually don't side with Sean Ray on very many things, but like Sean's talked about this of like he's like, I'm not hating on you. I'm giving you constructive criticism and I'm giving you my thoughts. That's not me saying I don't like you. It's not me saying you suck, you should quit. It's nothing. It's just me telling you my thoughts and how I think you can better yourself. And sometimes, like, when you say somebody looks like he's 4 weeks out, what we're actually trying to say is, could have been a little sharper. You could have been a little bit harder. We're not saying, hey man, you fucking suck. You didn't diet. You cheated. Like, no, it's none of that. We're not trying to be mean about it. But sometimes I just think bodybuilders in general are the worst to get butthurt about it. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and, the pot calling the kettle black because when I was competing, I was a little hot headed too. If I'm being fair, I probably have people on a block list that probably shouldn't be blocked.
this is true.
To be fair,
This is
but like now, it's just like this is me, like as an older guy now, offering some words of wisdom to people watching. Like, not everything is said like in a mean way towards you. You don't have to take it that way.
Yeah, this is true. It definitely takes some maturing to not be that way.
Yeah, I feel like the 21, 22, 23-year-old version of myself, like if you were to say anything like that, I would have been offended.
Yeah. All right.
And it would have been a complete false emotion per se.
Yeah,
It shouldn't happen.
yeah. We are human, and we are a little. Fuad and them were saying on the podcast, like, we are bodybuilders. We're a little bit fucked up. Like, you can't compare us to like like a baseball player or something, right? Like, we're not always gonna. Sometimes we even know we're wrong after the fact, but the truth is that emotions can run high. It is what it is. And you're talking about like somebody's actual body that they really worked hard for. It can cut a little deeper. So I try to be careful with my words these days, because I crack jokes a lot. I've learned that you should only crack jokes with people who you know personally. You can't crack jokes to strangers because they don't fucking know you. So you crack jokes to them, they're like, "Who the fuck are you? Why are you talking shit about me?" Oh, it was a joke, but I
Yeah,
guess you have to know me to know that I bust everybody's balls, but it's out of love. But if I don't know you, that's fair. I'm not gonna say don't get mad. I mean, it's a rude joke, but that's what makes the joke funny. But if I don't know you, so I'm not cracking jokes on people I don't know anymore.
yeah. I feel like the younger version of me probably would have taken offense to it. Now that I'm older, I'd probably just laugh with you,
Mhm.
laugh at myself, and go on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll take it personally. All right, is the Japan Pro? Is it today? Uh, I don't even know what day it is in Japan. It might be. It might be
No,
still
it's Monday.
still
It's Monday
7.
there now because they're like 12 hours ahead.
Somebody told me the show is gonna be Monday in our time. Is it actually Monday in Japan? I
Oh
don't know.
fuck, I don't know, man. They
Is
they need
is
to
this?
get like I feel like the IFBB needs to get something on board and just be like, hey, look, the shows are always fucking
Yeah, yeah.
like we've got Friday shows, Saturday shows, Sunday shows. Now we got Monday shows. What the hell is this?
I'm looking at Stu's story, and it look like he's checking in. He's at the hotel and stuff, and I'm like, and I'm waiting. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't see any
Who do we
show.
got? We got Stu. We got Sean. Don't we have
Johan.
that guy from Dubai, the Edward? Remember we talked about him before? I was
Oh,
thinking I saw his name.
yeah, but I heard that he's not gonna do it. I,
Okay,
I think he's
so
missing some chances. He's pretty. I think
who's
he's
the front runner?
Johan. Johan Pasilis.
The
Johan.
Spanish guy.
I think he's the front
Yeah,
runner.
that would be the front runner.
Sean looks crazy, but it's hard to beat a guy with that structure at uh at 5'1". It's gonna be tough. Everybody
Yeah,
else, everybody else. I don't know, man, because Regan beat him just off size. I mean, I could argue Sean is just
Sean
wide.
also, and I'm not saying that Reagan should or shouldn't have beaten him because I mean there's a massive size difference there. This is bodybuilding,
Huge, yeah,
but
huge.
Sean did get sick when he was in Mexico as well.
Okay, okay.
That's what
Well,
I heard. I actually heard several people that got sick when they were there.
well, Sean looks crazy. Let me pull him up. Actually, let me pull him up.
No,
Stu's
Sean, I
looking
don't think
good.
would be out of the top three, regardless.
Who, Sean?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be out of the top three.
Not the way he's looking right now. Maybe if Matt Jensen coached him, maybe. But right now, I got to stop with the jokes. I'm sorry, but right now,
I think Matt's so gone from the industry at this point.
oh, he don't care
You can
about
say
that.
what you want. He's not even going to know it.
He don't care about that part of it.
That video on the right.
Well,
Oh yeah,
I don't know how much this figure was, and I'm not going to repeat it. But Raw is not. They got bought out, right?
I heard by the company Urs is with, right. What's that company called?
Is it ESN?
ESN, yeah, ESN.
I think I think that's right. And if it's right, the guy who told me this, he's again, this is all allegedly, but like the amount of money that he took from that, if I was him, I would delete social media and I would never even talk to anyone on social media. Let's just say this. He has fuck you money.
Well, but on top of that, they hired them to consult them. So they bought them out, but they're paying them to work for them. So like they're making money, they're making riches on top of riches at this point because they still work for the company. Just I guess they just because you
Well,
can't get rid of
in all
them.
honesty,
Uh-huh.
that makes 100% sense because ESN is not the one who built the company. So like you need the people who built it here. You at least need them in your corner because they know what works, like the American market.
Oh yeah, listen, if you buy out Raw and then Bumstead is gone, that's a
It's
terrible
done.
investment.
It's good.
It's just over it. You know.
I feel like they probably had to offer Chris like, and I don't know this to be a fact because I don't know shit about Chris's investments. I don't know anything like that.
But
I feel like if I was ESN, I would be like, hey, we're going to buy Raw for this much money. But Chris, me and you are going to have a talk. And I'm going to need you for the next 10 years. I'm going to pay you
yes,
$5 million a year for the next 10 years, but you are going to have to stay in order for this deal to go through.
there's no way around it. Look at, with all due respect to the other owners, look at the difference where Warren revived after Chris joined, but then before Chris. Like, come
They
on.
were nothing. They were literally nothing.
In comparison, I
I,
mean, they moved warehouses like 10 times since Chris came.
one of the guys I'm going to say is he's very much in the know-how, and I talk to him quite often. The day that they signed and made the announcement with Chris, like to my understanding, they were doing, maybe like a couple hundred orders a week, like of product, a couple
Yeah.
hundred, not large scale. But they launched merchandise, I guess something with Chris on it the day that they signed him. And I think it was like 10,000 orders like that week.
Boy.
You went from a couple hundred to 10,000 in 1 week.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how much of an impact he had on the company. That was just merchandise. It has nothing to do with product.
Chris it looks like Chris can't lose. What there's no better scenario than building a company with a percentage, making all that money, then selling it for a fortune, then continue to make money from the company you sold on top of that. You can't lose. Like that's the best
My
part.
only thing with it is, or maybe this is where I see things a little bit differently than a lot of people. I've had this conversation so many times, like it almost like the back of my hand. Like when I got to I say when I got, I've never been, but if I ever get to a certain level of wealth, I'm not working no more.
Oh,
It's just not going to happen. Like if I were to crack the lottery, I'm gone, man. I'm not gonna like I'll use Jay for an example. I don't know precisely what Jay's worth, but a lot of people speculate. We know Jay's a multimillionaire, right?
yeah, yeah.
The figures that I heard, if they're legit, I have no idea why Jay travels. I have no idea why he shows it. He obviously loves it. So there's that. But like to me, there's a point where it's just like, damn, I'm 50. I want to sit down just to relax. I don't want to do this shit.
I agree. Well, it doesn't mean you don't have businesses, but I'm not doing any work. Like whatever managers I hire to manage the gym or my properties, they're gonna do the work. I'm not doing shit. Just show it to me. Oh yeah, great. Sign it. Okay, great. But I'm not gonna sit there and travel every weekend personally. I don't think. I care about happiness and fulfillment more than I care about money. If I'm being honest, you need
Yeah.
you need to make some money to be fulfilled because this shit is expensive. But other than that, I don't necessarily need more money than I need to handle. I just need the freedom of the money, but I don't have like
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Think
It
about the
happens to
quote
take.
that Steve.
Huh?
Think about the quote that Steve Jobs said before he passed away. He said, "Once you have enough money to like take care of you and your family." I don't remember the exact quote that he said, but it translates to once you have enough money to take care of you and your family the rest of your life, you need to actually live the rest of your life. Don't chase money for the rest of your life.
Smart, smart.
Because money equals stress. No matter how you look at it, money always has stress involved.
Oh yeah, there's no way around it. There's no way around it. Yeah, yeah. Once it just so happens that today's day and age, you need a lot more money than you used to actually have freedom. Uh-oh.
Yeah, when I was 18 or 19 years old, I thought if I had $1 million, I would retire. But I mean, $1 million, you're not even going to talk to me about retirement. It's not an option.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, maybe if I was 70 years old, cool. But like, at 37, no, that's not going to last me the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shit. Most neighborhoods in LA, if you're making six figures, you're struggling. Like that sounds
Yeah,
crazy.
I know people have roommates. They make six figures and they have to have roommates to get by.
Most of them do. Yeah, yeah. There's lawyers in my building with roommates. Like literally, there's
Hey,
lawyers in my building with roommates.
Alyssa,
What's
can
up?
when Bailey's talking, can you see? Was his screen froze?
I can hear him clear, but it's frozen on his end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay,
just
that's what I was dealing with as well. As long as I can hear you, it's all good.
it just told me internet unstable, man. This is tough. I live by the mountains a little bit, so unfortunately, this is how it goes. But oh, okay. I was gonna wrap it up, but before we wrap it up, since since the show is on either Japanese Sunday or Monday, uh, who you guys have any predictions? Let me think about it. First of all, I'm sorry.
Uh,
I didn't play this video. Before you make your predictions, Justin, you might want to see this.
is this Sean?
Yeah, this is Sean. He looks his legs seem to have come back from the dead. Um no thigh gap. That's what it looks like going on. And he just
I
looks
mean,
full as a house,
when
man.
Sean's standing by himself, the two bodybuilders, that when they stand by themselves, they're unbeatable by themselves, and that's Sean and Keon.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
The only thing I could say here, I could make an argument on this both ways. If Sean was to win, I could make the argument that one, he's the most complete, he's got more symmetry, and we know his posing is going to be good, so that's not really a factor here. And he's conditioned. Now, if I don't know, is it Johan or
Yeah.
Joanne?
If he's shredded,
I feel like I feel like a dick nut. No, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I think it's like Johan.
nobody
Yeah,
knows.
I think
I've
so.
had literally two people correct me on that, and my dumb ass can't remember.
Nobody knows how to pronounce
But
that.
we know everyone knows who I'm talking about. I don't foresee him having. He hasn't had the like Sean's level of conditioning at any of the shows he's done, but he's got a very great shape, and he also has a large frame and a large structure. So when
Look
he
at
stands next to Sean, he's gonna. Oh, that's got to be old there.
this.
Oh,
he,
geez.
he
That's
looks the same
crazy.
in the face. He looks the same, not the body though. He still looks like a baby.
But see, when he stands next to Sean, he wait, is that him and Sean together?
No,
Go
this
down
is
there.
this
Go
is
go
him.
down right there on the left.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, that
Oh,
is
yeah,
him and Sean. So when you see how like that much height and that much width, he's going to be significantly larger than everyone else there because he's a very big guy. He may not be significantly larger than Stu, but I think he's going to be a little structurally superior. Stu may be a little harder than him, but I think this guy's size is going to carry him.
yeah.
Now, when he actually figures out peaking properly, and he's only off by like maybe 5 to 10%, he's not off by much. Like the front shots is dead on. That's the back that where he needs a little bit more density at. And when he gets that, this guy not only is he going to win a pro show, he's going to crack top 10 his first year in the Olympics. He actually could probably crack like top 7, I think, because of the structure.
This is phenomenal. Like just watching this, he's a little jittery because he looks very excited, but this is this is really good. This is a crazy physique to me. And he's in shape. He's not Sean condition, but he is in shape. He looks young. The muscle looks young because he's very young. But yeah,
Yeah.
I see
I
mine.
think I think he needs like 5 to 8 more pounds just to come down.
Oh yeah, this could be tight.
Like right, he needs a little bit more actual size through his hamstrings and glutes because he looks shallow, like in his legs in that department.
Well, because his leg mass is sweep. Like it's like
Yeah,
Dennis Wolf, right? Dennis Wolf in the
yeah, he's
backboard.
all quad here.
Yeah, exactly. This is
I'm going to
kind
say
of
next year though, whoever gets in his way is probably going to outside the Arnold, outside the Olympia, whoever gets in his way is probably going to be taken second too.
this is kind of similar to Dennis. Front poses are perfect. Sweep is crazy. Waist is crazy. The glutes, hams, and lower back isn't necessarily peeled, right? Remember how
I could
Dennis
argue that it's better than Dennis because this guy has better arms.
and rounder. Maybe not. Dennis probably had a better X frame. It was kind of like cartoonish X. Well, I don't know. In this pose, it's pretty close. But yeah, I would say the potential. I think ceiling is higher than Dennis possibly. What do you think?
I feel like he just came out of nowhere. I mean, the guy's got almost 1 million followers, so clearly he's been around. I just haven't been paying enough attention.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like, this was the first year that I've noticed him on stage.
yeah. Did Stu post anything recently? This might be unpopular opinion, but I don't think structural size should count as much as it does sometimes. I feel like if Sean is better, even at 5'1", I still think he should win. That's what I think. I don't think the judges feel that right now.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that, like, if you're standing there in person, it just becomes overpowering.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like, I wasn't in Mexico whenever Reagan beat him. I mean, we know Sean is more complete and Sean is going to be harder than Reagan, but I'm going to say Reagan outweighs him by upwards of 100 pounds. And Reagan doesn't have a bad structure. Reagan's got a great structure.
It might literally be 100 pounds actually.
It's probably close to it because I know Reagan's over 6 foot tall.
Yeah, from the check-ins, Regan was in the 280s, pretty much in shape, so he couldn't have been that much lighter. Probably 270.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. I just feel like I feel like back in the '90s that got away. Like, when Franco, this wasn't the '90s, but like when Franco won the Olympia, and you remember like Lee Priest beat Ronnie Coleman, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't think that would happen in today's time with the standards that we have. Like, if Lee and Ronnie Coleman were in their prime today, Lee could be 100%, and I think Ronnie would beat him. Just again, 100 pounds. Oh, not 100 pounds different, but like it was close to it.
yeah,
Like, even though Lee would have been more complete, I think the nod would have still went to Ronnie just because of the size on that.
yeah, yeah,
But you ever saw that picture where Lee Priest is beside Marcus Rule?
yeah, yeah. I have seen that
Like,
picture.
I mean, that just goes to show how Marcus was fucking huge. I met Marcus when I was competing, and fuck, I thought he was big when I was big, and he was retired.
Yeah, yeah,
So he's just a very big guy. And then you have Lee, who's about 5'4", 5'5". So yeah, I think in today's time, I think the physical size is going to be
yeah.
enough for that. I think it's going to be enough for like Johan to potentially win that.
Johan is just so impressive that yeah, like somebody, let's say somebody like what's the Italian guy's name? Like Presti. Presti has a huge structure, but I feel like the muscle bellies, the shape, the structure, Sean will still be able to
That
beat
is good.
you know.
Yeah.
Sean will still be, but
Yeah.
when you have the beautiful shape and the bellies and you bring a good enough condition it's just too much for Sean to beat. But he'll be
Wait a
in the
minute.
mix. Uh-huh.
We're actually contradicting ourselves here because Presti beat Johan, right?
Yeah, I didn't agree.
So if we're saying that Johan's going to beat Sean, but yet Sean can beat Presti,
It wouldn't make sense.
I actually agree with what you're saying from my own eyes and from what I see.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
just from a judging standpoint, that's how they went with it. But if you also look at it from like with Presti versus Johan, they're both big guys, and they went with the more conditioned guy.
100%. I
In
personally
this
have
case, you're going to have
Johan.
a guy who's much smaller. I don't want to say smaller, just to say shorter, because he's not small by any means. I think that's not when you put those when you're comparing Presti to Johan is apples to apples,
This is true.
and comparing Sean to Johan is going to be apples to oranges.
Yeah,
Well, what would you say, like apples to grapes? Because Sean's the smaller version. I don't know, and I'm not picking on Sean by that. Just the other guys is just bigger.
I think I still thought Johan should have won that show, but I
I had him
have
winning. Yeah,
but I have seen Presti in person, and he looked like he had shoulder pads on. He's wide as shit, and I don't actually think his legs are small. I just think you can't match those shoulders. I don't think he can match the shoulders. I think he's so wide. Like if you took a tape measure to his quads, I think they're on par with almost anybody else. And by himself, I don't think it looks that bad. Next to Johan with that fucking sweep, then it starts to look small, right? But I actually don't think his legs are. I think they used to be kind of small. I think nowadays it just he's just so wide. Like it's impossible for him to look like he has huge sweeps. So
Do
so
you think it's possible he's on the back end of his career though? Because he's been around for a little while.
I think so. I don't know for sure, but I would think so. I would say he's probably on the other side of 30, if I had to guess. But who you guys have winning?
Oh, I've got Johan winning that.
Same here.
I agree because I mean, Keon beat Sean at the Olympia, and Keon was off,
This,
and it's like the width and the size of Keon is what beat Sean.
this is true, and this
So
is
why wouldn't Johan?
what. Yeah, a lot bigger, shapely. Yeah, I can see that. I think Sean is a second. And Holland's head, man, I just don't know. I don't know what Holland's head.
Is he
I
in
think
it?
Holland said Stu will fight for, third and fourth.
Yeah, I still think Stu is a lot more consistent in the last 5 years than Holland's head has been.
Oh, and yeah, consistency wise, yes.
Yeah, Holland's head, if he's like matched with his best, I think beats Stu. If he's like the best, like his when he won those two pro shows, I think beats Stu. He just hasn't been that. So you could argue Stu hasn't been his best these past couple years, possibly, or this year. But I still think Stu is bigger and harder, personally,
Yeah.
compared to what we've been seeing from James. He's bigger and harder. If Mark Hector does it, I think Mark Hector's in the lineup as well. Is he?
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
might have heard that he is somewhere.
What,
If
what
he's
do
in it, that mixes it up the top.
I don't
That would
even
round
know.
out your top five.
I think muscle. Let me see. Muscle Insight. They got some good stuff. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah. They on it. Let me see. Oh, you have Japanese guys too.
Yeah, we don't know who they are. So, I mean, there could be a possibility that one of these guys shows up out of the woodworks and cleans it out.
Yeah, Mark Hector. Listen, man, he just if that shoulder thing never happened, Mark can literally win the show, but it makes a big difference when you can't hit the poses. Who else we got?
It's such a weird way to display who's in the show. All their mug
I
shots.
think I think he's just trying to break the mold here. Like he's done a few cool things. Like I actually had to send him a picture of me and Joe and Paul because remember when he was putting the coach beside the athletes?
Yeah.
I was like, let me just get you because I told him I was like, I look like like a retard here. I was like, let me get you a real picture.
Well, he was at the expo. I don't know if you know what he looks like, but he was at the expo. I didn't know what he looks like until I saw him.
That
But
dude
The bottom
Florian.
left, that's not Beirut. It's
that's
something Tabani from Iraq.
his cousin.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, no, his actual cousin. That wasn't
Oh, okay. I thought he just
Isn't the
with me.
dude the guy under Mark Hector is the guy that went from open to classic back to open?
Oh yeah.
Florian?
Florian. Yeah. He looks good
Yeah.
though. Let me see if I can pull him up. He actually looks. Oh, that's another example of on the way down doesn't look that good because on the way
Yeah.
up he could have done classic, but on the way down it wasn't the move.
He's tagged right there in the caption to your right next
See
to his
him?
picture.
Oh, there you go. Florian.
He's the guy that used to work with Patrick, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he still works with Patrick, right? Okay, well, nothing too recent. Oh, 12 hours, but I don't know if this is recent. It's hard to
I
tell.
would just assume that is. I mean, that'd be weird to post a shot 12 hours before the show and it not be recent.
These guys these days, you never know.
Some
Guys,
of them
guys,
play mind games, yeah.
guys
But
would
I
be
mean,
too
that
weak
wouldn't
though.
be the photo I'd be playing mind games with because I don't think he's 100% here.
I don't either. I kind of didn't want to say it just because I can't see much, but from what I see, it doesn't look peeled. But hey, you never know. You never know. How do I go back here? Okay. And Tabani, I don't know why he looks exactly like Beirut's in this picture. Maybe it's his brother, not his cousin, but I know they're related.
That's kind of weird in a way that, you have someone in your family that's also a pro competing at that level. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Rolly, I don't know if it was his brother or cousin, but
That was his
Quincy
brother.
Gibbler.
Yeah, that was his brother.
Oh, was his
Yeah,
brother Quincy?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've met them both. Obviously, he's actually a lot more friendly and talkative than Rolly is.
Yeah, he seems like a really like fun guy to be around. Okay.
Yeah, it just so happens I think Rolly got the best of the genetics between the two.
To to, to,
So
to to
it's
say the
obvious.
least.
Yeah, it's obvious, but
Yeah. Hey, and it's funny because sometimes it's just like that. He could work just as hard as Rolly, but it doesn't. That's not how it always turns out. But
yeah.
all right, we've been on for a while. I gotta go
I
hit.
want to hit.
Huh?
I want to hit one more topic, like
Of
real
course.
quick, and it's me and you probably won't talk too much. I want to get some engagement on list on this one.
Uh
How did you feel? And you can opt not to answer.
I already know what you're gonna
oh. Me
say.
too. I think I know where it's going.
The Sarah
Like,
thing.
yeah, I mean, okay. Actually, disregard what Sarah's saying. Like, let's not even get into that because that's just it is what it is. Did you had I had Natalia winning clearly. Do you agree or disagree? I'm not mad either way.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I never know how to judge straight up. I don't know what,
What they're looking for.
like, to me, I don't fucking know. I'll just say that. I'll just say when I saw videos of Natalia, there's just things that look different that I've never seen.
Okay.
And things to me that look suspicious. Of what? I don't know. But it doesn't look natural. Like, yeah, none of us are natural, right? But it just doesn't look like I don't know. I'll just go that far.
Who did you have
I
winning
don't
then?
know.
I can't even tell you because I really don't pay attention like that. Straight
Okay.
up. I mean, I go back and I look at the videos of who, like Natalia's Gilco and then Sarah's Gilco.
So here's the thing, right? I don't doubt there were injections of whatever it could be. It could be gear. It could be anything, right? But it's like there's no rules in the IFBB, right? So it's
That's
like,
true. That is true.
I mean, if we look at like we've seen, not to single out Hadi, but we've seen Hadi's shoulders, we've seen holes in Big Rami's quads. There's other people. I don't want to call a bunch of names, but we've seen super round shoulders. We've seen pointy quads. We've seen swollen calves. We see it all. But I mean, it's not forbidden, So it's like I
That
think
shit.
yeah,
I mean, I pin my delts and I've done some lateral raises where I'm like, that looks bad. And
yeah.
yeah, like, I mean, but
Somebody's
the quads were very round
oh,
on
okay, okay.
Natalia.
Yeah. My thing is, if you deserve to win, which I have her winning too, then you win. You just win, right? Same.
She's got an undeniable shape. You can't. I mean, me, Sarah, we're both kind of boxier, not really like gaping lats like that in a fucking wasp waist.
Yeah,
Natalia's got it. Natalia's kind of like the Brazil Shanique in a
yeah.
sense.
The thing is, though, I've never seen any Olympia champion go at somebody that hard. And what I'm thinking is that forget what we think. I don't think Sarah cares what we. If I mean, I don't think Sarah cares what we think. She comes off like she doesn't really care what we think. But what about the Olympia? Don't you think the Olympia would be like, "Hey, Sarah"? I don't know if they reach out to her now, but don't you think? I would think she would think that might hurt her chances.
I don't know.
I absolutely think it already has.
I definitely think. Well, she even took Mr. Olympia out of the post because she said Mr. Oil Olympia, and she changed it to like oil. So she probably got a. Let's be real. She probably got a phone call. Like, let's be honest, right? But
Well,
even if she
maybe
did,
not, because she's made some posts since, not as like
she's still talking about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
savage, but
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna try to control her. I think they're just gonna be like, okay, gotcha.
I mean,
Well, see, I don't think they can control her
No.
because she has money, so she doesn't do this for any way, shape, or form for money.
they
She's
have
already
fuck you
got
money
4
too.
titles.
They do.
Yeah,
That they
I
do.
They do.
anytime I see you flying a private jet, like that's not for. If you have a net worth of less than $10 million, you're probably not flying private.
No.
So like they have the money. So it's not like she really needs the money. And she's got 4 titles already, plus like 3 or 4 runner-ups. So like I don't think she really cares. And if you got somebody who doesn't care, you can't control
No.
them
You know,
because she's not made anything. She's not made anything that would cause any made a post that would cause any legal issues.
no. You know, I actually don't mind shit talking because every other sport does it and we praise it. But any bodybuilders who talk shit, we kind of like we kind of attack them. Now, I think it's too personal. I don't think it's I don't like when it gets too personal. I like when it's just like what's a good beef? I don't know. Pete, you can talk back and forth.
Like when Nick and Blessing.
Yeah, that was more friendly. But even if it gets, let's say Tony or Rafa, he talked about him clogging his toilet, right? Like that. That's a little personal, but it's still kind of like
Wait, what?
he said. Well, I think Tonio denied it, but Rafa said Tonio clogged his toilet at his gym.
Clogginator.
He said he let him in the gym for free, and then he didn't like how he was acting, and then he clogged his toilet. That's a bit shit.
That has actually happened.
I, I can't confirm or deny. I can't confirm or deny it.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
don't. When we had Tony on, I'm pretty sure he said the accusations were false. But I don't know. I don't fucking know what happened. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you flush the toilet, you walk out, and the shit is clogged. You don't know. I don't.
Yeah, he may not even notice it.
That's such a random, funny thing to say. I thought it was so random, but anyways, yeah, that got a bit chippy, but on stage, then I don't. It's still not that personal. I think when it gets super personal, I think it makes people feel uncomfortable. I think it's more like I'm better than you. I'm gonna beat you. That kind of stuff, you know. But
Yeah,
I,
that's
I,
like
I
the
think,
Phil and Kai thing. Like it was entertaining at that point, with those two.
yeah. So
Like I
I
don't
think
feel like they took personal shots at each other.
no. Even if at the moment they didn't like each other, it was only due to competition. But Natalia and Sarah, they do have a personal beef history wise. So that's I think that's why it's a little different. But
Well,
fuck
on
it.
the plus side, for us women's physique competitors, it's gotten attention to that division specifically. So I know people are going to be paying attention next year at the Olympia. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to be there. I'm trying to be at the press conference, like with them.
Yeah. You know what? To be honest, I've always liked women's physique. But I'm gonna be a little even more interested. Like, let's see what's going on here. Are they gonna shake
Like
hands this time?
what's going to be said at the press conference? Who's going to say what? Is Sarah going to stand on business, or is she just going to keep it professional?
It would be dope if I'm not saying they will or won't. It would be dope if it's judged just as fair as it was before the comments and may the best woman win. And let's use it as a positive thing. Let's say it's going to bring more eyes to it. Let them shit talk. Go, yeah, what you got to say? It could be.
I
It could
feel
be
like
entertaining.
depending on who gets the say in this, like I feel like someone like if Sarah and obviously Sarah's coming back, she's pissed, she wants to win.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I feel like they're gonna say, "Hey, look, all that shit that happened last year, we don't talk about it right now. That was last year." Like I feel like someone's gonna say, I feel like someone will pull her to the side. It ain't
That's
gonna be
boring.
Steve. It ain't gonna be Tyler. It ain't gonna be Jim. Maybe it's coming from them, but they'll have somebody else say it. Maybe Bob
That
or whoever's holding the mic at the press conference may say, "Hey, look, keep this PG, keep this professional. Don't go for personal shots." Somebody, I think somebody else.
See, I'll find that boring, but I can see, you might have Shaq in the crowd and The Rock in there, and then imagine she says, "Hey, man, she got synthol in her fucking quads." They're gonna be like, that might sound crazy, but hey, I say let them talk this shit. Fuck
Well,
it.
on the flip side, why am I drawing a blank? It was Jessica Padilla. She kind of got owned by Missy.
Oh
You
yeah,
know about that, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
no,
yeah. Yeah, I saw that at the press conference.
no, really,
Jessica basically said she was going to win, and because it was an open title.
yeah.
So Jessica said she was going to win, and Missy said something about like, "You're so confident. Why did you get goobed by editing your photos?" And then that obviously just kind of spiraled at that point.
Yeah, see,
But see,
do you guys,
I feel like Missy, okay, coming from an entertainment side, Missy's a WWE fan, hardcore. I am as well. And there's, again, like Sarah could have made that first post and kind of left it alone, but kind of played into it as like the heel, the bad guy. But she kind of kept playing it into it like in a different way. She was kind of being serious. But Missy was being like the heel.
showman? Yeah, I know she
Yeah,
did.
she's like she's bringing some entertainment, and maybe it's a little petty to bring it up, but at the same
I
time,
think
it's
it worked to her advantage though, because I think it really actually just got under Jessica's skin and might have even potentially fucked her up a little bit, like the last few hours before the show,
Yeah.
like the stress and cortisol.
See, I think because I like other sports and you like wrestling, we kind of like this. I just Sours. I think because the timing of it and the way it was worded, it came off sore loserish. I think that's what rubbed people wrong. I definitely think there's a way she could have done it, maybe even in a different timing. I think right after the show, I think that window just made it seem a little off. Maybe before the show, running into the prep of the next show to talk her shit brings just more like, oh, look what yeah, I think she kind of revised it a little bit to come off. Some people are gonna like it no matter what, but
If she
I,
wanted that, if she wanted that scenario to work in her favor, I agree with you. If she would have started bringing this up like a month out from next year's Olympia, it probably would have worked in her favor
I think so.
rather than against her.
And even I don't mind people being direct, but I think she probably could have said, "Hey man, some people doing shortcuts, some stuff look funky. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying, I work hard. I don't know. I
or
think
she could have posted like her video from Gilcombe being like, no synthol here or something like subliminal.
I think that would actually be more tasteful. I don't know, or just clean muscle belly said, folks. You see this? What are you saying? But the way she said it was, to be honest, when I saw it, I was kind of like, brother, it threw me, it threw me off a little bit, and I usually like this kind of stuff, but it did throw me off. So if it threw me off, most people honestly unfollowed her from what I've heard, I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't. I fuck with Sarah.
I'm not gonna unfollow somebody for talking shit. Even if they
That's
talk
my
shit about
girl.
me, I'm not. I don't follow people who talk shit about me. I won't follow you. So I'm not. I'm not that sensitive. I gotta be honest with you.
Nah, nah.
I like for people to. I don't mind people talking the shit. My people say, but they're not gonna
That's
fight on stage. They'll be all right. They're not gonna.
Yeah, and that's one thing I won't do. I will never talk shit about a competitor. I might come across like aggressive while I'm prepping, but I'm like in a fighter's mental game. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to every time I go to the gym, I'm fighting the weights,
Yeah.
but it's not like I'm trying to fight my competitors to like start
I know what you
shit.
mean. And
So
somebody beating me is not their fault. So if anything, I could say, "Hey, judges." I could be thinking. I still won't say it, but I could be thinking, "Hey, judges, y'all didn't see that? Y'all didn't see them show this, boy." But but I'm not mad at you. I can't be mad at you for beating me. I've never felt that way. If anything, I could be like, I don't know what the judges want. I don't know. I thought I kind of won, but Of course, I think
That's
that.
why I don't know how to judge because again, Zama beat me, and I'm just like, I don't fucking know
Yeah, yeah,
shape, and it comes down to that shape. It's the shape. So
it changes sometimes show to show. I don't think vindictively. I just think how they feeling that day, what they looking at, because yeah,
Well, it
sometimes
also depends. Different sets of judges is going to give you a different opinion.
yeah, yeah, we've
If you
seen
were consistently in front of the exact same judge and all of a sudden you saw inconsistencies, then I'd be
yeah, yeah. Some shows we seen condition reward a little bit more. Some shows we see size a little more. Some see, based on what you see. I was looking at Sasan Haradi, and I was like, I think he's the most pure guy in the lineup, and he was full and round. He got last call out, and I'm
he's
kind of like,
very good.
I could have made argument been a lot higher than that, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, it's gonna vary. But I thought
Yeah,
that was a good
like
episode.
for me, I
Oh,
probably would have
okay.
put Rubio like last, man, just because he had no lines in his quads.
Yeah, me.
Brachios muscle, it's like the weirdest muscle I've ever seen, but like there's no detail to it.
I think yeah, I think that's
he needs to do cardio like a running back from football. Like he needs to train high volume to dig in the lines and run. To I don't know.
and then
Something, I don't know.
and you know
He's
what?
fucking huge.
I think people like him, man. I heard Chad talk about it with like Rami. Fuck that carbon up shit. Bro, you good, bro. You good.
When you have that much muscle and you carb up, you're probably going to lose lines.
Yeah, yeah. I heard with Rolly too. He said he stopped carbon up like later in his career. Yeah, yeah, but I don't think those arms need no carbs, brother. Like just
Yeah, when you're
flat.
that big and you just naturally have like a bubbly muscle tissue, you
Yeah,
don't have to do that.
yeah, yeah. Even Chad talked about Big Ramy pumping up backstage, and he's like, "Whoa, yeah, you don't need to pump up,
Stop,
brother."
walk out.
Well, Nick Walker talks about that. He doesn't pump up. I
Really?
agree. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when you're that full and round, I think you might lose lines. I honestly think you're gonna lose lines. Just being that
The
engorged
only
with
thing I
blood.
would say with Nick, if he bought his chest fuller, that
Okay,
would
yeah,
help.
I can see that. I can
Like
see that.
just Nick should do some like not push-ups because he don't need any more fucking arm. That's for sure. But if he
Why
could put like a band where he's just like
Clyde?
literally only engaging his pec, that
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
the only pump up that he would need. He doesn't need any more front delt either.
No, I seen an interview with Martin Fitzwater. It's a really good interview actually with Nile. You guys know Nile Transparent podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he goes to my gym. He's a really nice guy. But Martin said with Pittsburgh, he feels like well, there was a sodium issue too. But anyways, he said he was pumping up backstage, and he can tell he was too pumped to the point that he could barely barely flex. And Martin is already full and round. And I did feel like I still feel like Martin is almost too full sometimes. I almost feel like he would look better less full. He's like full, like so full that you can't see details until he's in the pose, right? You notice that. He has to
Yeah.
really be squeezing see details because he's so round and full. So almost like he shouldn't be flat though because he can go flat. I think like Justin, like you never pushed fullness. You just were fucking round, and he has a similar thing. I think
Yeah,
you know. I
I
think
was never full on stage. Contrary to what everyone else will say, I never was full on stage because I know when I'm full, I lost the detail on my lower body. Not my glutes would actually look better, but my hamstrings and quads would not. So, but the only reason my glutes look better is because the muscle's pushing harder against the skin.
uh,
But my quads and hamstrings would lose like the fine-tuned detail.
mhm.
So yeah, my upper body looks better, but I know for a fact that's not going to be like a winning look. That's not going to let me win shows.
You literally just described '90s bodybuilding versus today. Like their glutes weren't as sharp, but they had so much more detail from the front because they were kind of flat. They were peeled but
Yeah,
flat.
and
Uh-huh.
like I'd have to say that Thackeray may have been the one who I never made the mistake of like filling up too much because as an amateur I always had a coach in my corner and I never overcarbed per se.
Yeah.
If anything, I was undercarb, but it worked to my advantage. And I always thought, oh, I need to eat more. I need to eat more. And I think with the conditioning that I brought with him, it taught me like, no, dude, you really don't. Like, just look at your pictures. Don't worry about how you look in the fucking gym. You have a pump. Just look at your pictures, and this is exactly what you need to bring to stage.
Simple as that.
Like
Um,
he carved me up, but the thing is, like with my metabolism, I
oh,
ate through it, and I actually weighed less afterwards. I didn't get tighter. I actually might have gotten even a little bit flatter. Like it just turned my metabolism on that I just like eat, lay in the bed, and just like there's like an imprint of my body from the sweat.
yeah. Look at Joe and Jordan, both friends of both of us, obviously, and y'all both of y'all didn't push the carb up much, and that's like the amount of detail the both of them showed is insane. Could they have been? They could have both of them in that condition. They could be 10 pounds fuller if they wanted to. With the amount of muscle and condition they had, they could compete 10 pounds heavier and still be more pure
Well,
than other guys.
yes, and so like with you living out in California as well, like you see Joe in the off season, or you see Joe in the rebound. Like if he's in a tank top, 15 pounds over stage weight, you look at him and you're like, how is that not Mr. Olympia? Because
Yeah,
it's so fucking full and round.
it's ridiculous.
However, when I get the check-in pictures, when I look at this, like the fine-tuned details, the lower back, the glutes, the hamstrings, specifically the quads as well, specifically that,
Hmm.
he loses some detail there. So that's why, like, I didn't really carb him up. Like, it was our carb up would be considered a joke to most people, but I knew that that was going to be what it takes for us to get the look and get the
Yeah.
nod. Even though we didn't get the nod, at the end of the day, I still feel like we won because we got him recognized, we got his face on the map, and now everybody knows he's coming. So even though we didn't get the trophy, we took a win one way or the other.
See, me and Zayd used to always talk about like we know all
Zayd's kind
the
of the opposite. Zayd has to fucking fill up.
yeah, but me and
Well,
Zayd would
because he
talk
sucks
about
down to 198, then up from there.
yeah. I think he should have been heavier a long time ago. But we used to look at Joe and be like, we know all the pros, we see all of them, we find him more impressive, and we're like, maybe we just biased, but we're not because then we see him stand next to him, be like, bro, he's bigger and harder than them. So now I'm glad he's actually noticed for it because I started feeling I feel better about myself because I'm posing next to him. I'm like, am I that far from turning pro? In reality, I'm like, look at my back and look at back. If I'm that far from turning pro, I might as well pack it up. But
Yeah, but if you're looking at his back specifically, he arguably, I mean, even like you've heard everybody mention, he has like
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
maybe he's got to be in the top three best double or best back double buys in the world right now.
I think
I've heard
so.
some people say that it was the best back double bicep in the world. I don't know if I'm not going to say it away because it's not right. Of all people, it's not right for me to say that. But
I think we're
it's
gonna
in the
find out
mix.
next year, and
Yeah,
I think next year that will be the discussion. Like, does he actually
yeah.
have
I
the
don't
back?
think there's gonna. I don't think they'll be able to find a flaw with him next year. Like the way like his quads look and his check-ins right now,
Yeah,
it's significantly improved. Like he's learned how to dial that in. And then back to the whole fullness versus being flat on stage. When he did the cow last year, he was bursting full, and we saw how
yeah.
that played out. And I remember that prep when I pulled him down a little bit lighter, I saw more detail. And I'm like, okay, we're going to fill up. And me and him talked about it. I was like, next year, I was like, this was my fault. Like we both wanted to push the boundaries to be full. And we realized size ain't what he's needing. He's not a guy, that can show up full and win. You got to be, and you got to be insanely shredded, both like with his structure and the way he
Uh,
is. But where he has full round muscle bellies, it doesn't fucking matter.
Well,
I could probably bring him in keto and do no carbs, and he would look great.
but like you said earlier, that Cal look in the gym actually looks more impressive, right? Because
Yeah,
it
because
looks
it's
like nothing you
full,
ever. Yeah, because it
bubbly.
look, huh?
It's bubbly.
Well, and it's still in better shape than most people on stage, right?
Yeah.
So looking at that, if I was coaching him, honestly, I probably would have went with that look just because I'm looking at it. But once you step on stage and you're next to Jordan, that's when you're gonna need that extra condition, right?
Well, that's what I noticed at the Cal in 2024. Like in person, I'm like, okay, I like what I'm seeing. And then when I see him standing next to other guys, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have to dig a whole lot fucking deeper. But I knew he was capable of doing it. So
And like to be, it obviously going to sound biased. Probably won't sound biased now because of this year, but obviously the placing at the Cal wasn't where anybody in the audience had a place in, right?
I had him a little higher than that. Yeah, I didn't have him in the top five. Like initially, I had him in the top five before the show.
Yeah,
But once the show started, I had him in the top 10,
yeah.
not like 13th or 14th place. But you know what's crazy? His body weight was like within a pound or two the same from last year to this year.
Okay, okay. Just but in a lot better condition. So it's like gain
Well, there
muscle.
was significantly more muscle, but better conditioning and flat. Like he probably has like 10 to 12 more pounds of muscle, but it doesn't show on the scale.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good way to go. Yeah.
And I actually need to have this conversation in about 5 minutes when we get off in here with one of my clients because he's very, very good. He's very, very talented. And I expect him to go a long fucking way in the sport. You're going to see who I'm talking about very soon. I kind of kept
Okay.
him off the radar. But he had a little a fudge moment, and he admitted it to me that he ate.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to tell him, like, look, man, like we're kind of similar weight to what we were last year. And I'm like, just put the fucking scale aside. We don't need to do that. We just need to bring the look.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. Also, Justin,
Well,
I
so
like.
I'm gonna have to use that as an example. Like, hey, Joe was the exact same weight, and this is what happened. So if you're the same weight, don't think you didn't improve just because you're the
Yeah.
same weight.
Yeah, yeah. Justin, you just remind me. I've actually had a few people hit me up about you. One person was trying to contact you. They were all trying to contact you, but I don't know if they hit you up yet. But I'm gonna tell you probably off air. But guy with some good potential, man. Guy with some good potential. Just asking around, how was your experience
I
and
think
stuff?
I know the one. He's
Oh
a
yeah,
pro, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he did. He's
Tall guy.
taller. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
yeah. I would actually love to work with him because just for the record, he wants to do a show not in the U.S. Right?
You want to do what?
Did he tell you which show he wanted to do? Just so I make sure we're on the same
No,
page with the same guy.
no, we didn't talk about it. Is it an East Coast guy?
And no, he's a West Coast guy.
Oh, so you're talking about somebody else then? But there was a few people that hit me about. But I was talking about an East Coast guy.
No. This was a West Coast guy. He's out your way, to the best of my knowledge. But we
Oh,
talked about doing the Toronto.
okay, okay.
And I actually would love to have, and I don't ever tell my guys what shows to do because like you're the one paying for the travel, you're the one working around the inconvenience of competing. So it's like I work around you, you don't work around me. But it would be cool because as of right now, I'm going to have like 5, 6. I don't want more than 8.
Yeah,
8 people in one show means I need Ativan to survive.
yeah,
I can't do that.
yeah.
So. I think 6 to 8. I'd love to be able to I'm planning on making the trip up there, so
Okay, fine,
that
fine.
would be cool. So hopefully we're talking about the same guy, and I just have his location confused.
Okay, well let's sign off so we can talk about it. All right,
All
guys.
right,
Thanks for watching. I never do intros or
peace.
outros. I'm gonna do outros. Hey guys, thanks for watching Fit Nation podcast. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Code Macho, Black Stone Labs, all that shit. Alyssa, you got anything you want to plug, Alyssa?
Nova Farm, Nova Queen 20 at checkout.
There you go. And then shout out to the dweeb at the gym. You don't get fucked up. Keep it up.
I'm gonna send you that video, Justin.
Okay, I want to see it.
You got
Love
anything to
y'all.
plug, Justin? Justin, he don't like to.
No, I don't have anything to plug at all. I don't do
Well, well, hit up Justin for coaching, or maybe not, because he might have too much clients. Or, Mr. Popular over there.
I've got about 15 spots, and that's it. Once I hit a cap, I have to close it because my work standard goes down.
Okay, well,
So I got about 15 spots, and I know a few of these are going to fill very quickly. About 5 or 6 of them is almost taken.
well, so get on it ASAP. Don't be like me. Don't take a bunch of drugs and burn out too early. Get with a good coach early so you can have a nice long career. Peace out, guys.
Purchase your tracks